So, resume. Sounds all our buddies. Yeah, okay, let's carry on.
Alright, people. Let's catch us a dragon.
Let's do it, I'm ready.
Yes.
I think Ping Pang Boom's gonna be huge in this one. No way we're fighting him.
Hey,
I'm Multix. How you doing today, dude? It's been a little while. How's life?
We are not nothing.
How's the family?
I'm with Drax. No mountain too high, no valley too low.
Literally. In the case of
True,
this
no?
place.
Alright. Just doing my brother by DJ Fat Controller days. Oh yeah. Damn, dude, you're probably one of the very few people who even remembers that shit.
Seemed like an augment to me.
But yeah,
some sort of
some damn good times there.
biochemical appendage.
My little Thomas the Tank Engine like remix. Oh dear. I do actually still do so. I don't really do. Oh shit. I don't really do like remixes as such anymore. But I do still make music. If you do exclamation mark music, you can see my latest tracks. Both like some like. Oh, I wanted to go in that way. Some more like bands type like live instrument ones, and I do still do some like electronic stuff. But that's been a while. This is pretty good, you know. Whee! Man, there's not like natural slides in real life enough. Yeah, there we go. Nice one.
Well, that takes care of the getting down part.
I don't even want to
there's a whole
think
bunch
about
of
how we're
links.
gonna get back up, or how we're gonna get Foom up there.
Look on the bright side.
It's just crazy idea. It's
Make
just
it dead.
crazier idea.
Back on Earth, people would use dog sleds. A whole line of huskies pulling a sled across the ice.
Don't expect me to be the
is that?
dog.
I was actually
range,
thinking of
jeez.
the Wendigo, and Foom is the sled.
That's the craziest idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh,
Yeah, how you been
I didn't
keeping,
think it
Multix,
could get
dude?
any colder.
You know, it's days like
How's life
these. I'm
nowadays?
glad I installed seat warmers in the Millennium.
Up ahead, there's the ice obelisk.
This must be it, the frozen sea.
Oh, I'm not
This
controlling
is
it,
the
so something's
perfect
gonna happen.
spot. Here we will challenge the great beast. Fin Fang Foom, come and face your death.
What are you doing? We can't get the drop on him if he knows we're here.
Also, we're not
Can you summon
killing
it?
him, remember?
Shout with me. Here we demonstrate our mettle.
Fin Fang Foom! Your
Yeah,
end
well, let me go
draws
over there.
near.
Nope, not his end.
Your quill. Go!
Fin Fang Foom, it's...
Website work is shit, but leaving October for your new job. Nice! Fucking A.
It's your turn.
Did he just
Well,
say
yeah,
my
it's not
real
too
name?
long to hold on
Okay.
for at least then.
Fin Fang
Hopefully
Foom,
onwards and
We're
upwards.
gonna decomboggle your
But yeah,
fucking
doing splendid.
spigots.
Cheers, man.
You hear me?
He hears you.
So
You
on the way doing
scaly,
my thing. I'm not getting
overgrown
streamed quite as much
Gordo
nowadays,
you
so
blessed lump of
I'm enjoying it
Sitarchian
when I
shrub
do.
meat. You don't
Still getting them like
scare
once a
us.
week,
It
but I'm
feels
gonna try and
good
do
to
some more like
sit down
daytime ones in the like
Yeah,
upcoming
it
weeks and
actually
that.
does.
Now we disrobe.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
May as well. Now we can. All right. I haven't scanned that yet.
Prepare yourself, Fin Fang Foom. You face your final moments.
Not final. Just through here. Be ready for anything.
That is technically impossible.
That is impossible. Hey, Improvers, how you
Any
doing,
last food
dude?
stories, Drax?
Why is
Say the
Gamora? I'll do
great
you one
beast
better.
has one
When
weakness.
is Gamora?
You're telling us now.
It is said that Fin Fang Foom is helpless before the friendship of
How you
five
doing as
great
well, man?
warriors.
Brothers in
Aw,
chat,
he's
lovely.
talking about us.
Certainly not. It is abandoned.
Oh. Oh, we might get to see a dragon. We might not get to see a dragon. Well, we're definitely going to see a dragon. They've hyped it way too much. Lost your Colossal account, so you had to make a new one. Oh shit, we're Colossal...
So,
That wasn't like
where is
City
he?
Skylines, was
Maybe
it?
we spooked him.
Impossible. Foom was born without fear.
You don't know that.
Or is
Cold
Colossal
heart
something
of a
completely different? I'm
dying
just not
star.
getting
Stars ain't cold. This one was.
You think his lair's behind that?
Let's find out.
Or underneath it, maybe. Seems like it could be underneath it. Bing bang boom! Oh yeah, Colossal Twixt. Yeah, fair. Ah, that sucks. Was it too many bands or just like forget password? Got cold on you. It's not wearing purple shorts though. Fing fang foom. Can't we just talk? Oh dear. I think we should just talk this one out. That's a big health bar. This is feeling like a Final Fantasy type shit.
Guys, huddle up!
Should have made order their powers first.
Victory will soon
Got hacked
be
and someone
ours,
must have
my
been bot
friends,
post or something. Oh
unless
shit.
they send
Oh, that sucks, man.
If they do, we'll have to move like lightning.
At least you've got a new one
Hit
now,
them
but
from
yeah,
behind.
that sucks.
But what if they're too fast? We'll need
Well, at
another
least they got
plan.
banned, so they can't be doing that shit anymore.
Being exposed doesn't scare me. You want to know why?
Exposure? Who said anything
Because out
about...
on that field, we're stronger than them.
So
I
how
can fire
badass
a
is
bow,
Rocket though?
toss an order at you, and it's done. Who's with me?
That was
Way to read the team, Peter. Fireball incoming!
Hold up, Rocket!
He is as great as the tales foretold!
Consider this your Christmas present, Drax!
It's heating up!
It's heating up. Oh, fucking hell, it really is.
Nice, Boom! Easy, Boom!
Ain't nothing nice or easy about him! What's wrong, Boom? Ice got in your claw?
Mitch him! Toss him around!
Oh shit.
I'll give him that! Ha! Not so invincible after all!
No, I am.
Yeah, bust up the other pieces! Let's strip this guy bare!
Just focus on getting the ISO first.
Trouble.
The beast will make a fine apology!
Ha! Look at him struggle!
I forgot I had this gun.
He's friggin' huge!
To be fair, you're tiny.
That's two!
For the Bane of Ice, Peter Quill!
See? Bane of Ice isn't such a bad nickname.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
He is as great as the tales foretold!
Oh, baby! How you like us now?
His opinion does not appear to have improved.
One to go.
Oh shit, wrong button.
Next, Peter. Look! He's stuck!
I am trying to destroy!
Watch the claws!
You think?
Trying to get him to focus on him.
He's one of a kind! I'll give him that! Ugh! I can smell his breath already!
Oh jeez. Truth, it just means have to refund the channel points, that's it. It's an opportunity to grow again, you know.
Boom!
Bring it, you overgrown
It's completely
lizard.
free now, we just helped him. Oh Jesus.
Looks like he just did!
Oh, that's not great.
That was too close!
Good thinking! Muscles! Get through the head! He thinks you two can refund that rock right into Boom's face! Quick! Before Boom figures it out!
Well struck, friend!
Rocket! Do your thing!
Let's hurry this up! I'm getting cold!
I'm sure Boom will be happy to warm you up.
Go on, get your powers in while you can.
Groot, you're up!
Do not hold back now!
Is he talking to us or Boom?
Come on, Boom! You'll like Sector 9!
The great winds would make for invigorating flight! Suppose we had sold food as I originally suggested!
Oh shit.
Okay,
Oh shit.
Drax, you get
Well,
the
also,
benefit
Rufus dude,
of taking
if you're on Discord, message me on Discord to move your channel points over.
Literally!
Oh jeez, I can't see that one. And then that way at least you get your channel points from here back a bit. Oh, fucking hell.
It's hitting us!
Oh, jeez.
This has got my name on it! Eyes on the sky!
Oh, shit, rocket's down. Oh,
Watch out! He's coming in!
I got your little buddy.
Get, little buddy. Hey, Quill,
Hey, even got him,
wanna
buddy.
see some fireworks?
Yeah, that's it.
Ha! Murderize you!
Don't mind me fun fair. Shit, I fucked that one.
Watch out for him! Everything!
So much for going quietly.
Oh, shit.
I'm getting cold!
Already?
On for the big guns!
Oh, shit.
Feel free to give up, Boom!
You'll love Lady Hellbender!
We shall prepare our strike.
Come on, Boom! You'll like exercise!
Oh, Jesus.
Rocket! Safety's off!
A critical blow for the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Are we even making a dent?
Flash does not dent.
I got you, girl. Oh, shit, maybe not.
You're up, big guy! Fruit!
Hope this makes you swear, Hellbender.
Who wouldn't want a giant pet dragon?
Get up. We got a dragon to fight.
Later! Make them hurt, Gamora! Blow them up!
Suppose we had sold Boom as I originally suggested.
No quarantine zone, no fine, no church!
The beast grows desperate.
Yeah, we're getting him.
And pissed!
Then he's bound to get sloppy!
Whoa! Little windy, isn't it? Wipe them out, Rocket! The ice isn't cracking, you big baby!
Oh, shit.
I can't believe we're fighting a dragon! Believe it and shoot it! One more time! Let's knock him out cold!
Doesn't look like he's gonna make it easy on us!
Don't need him to. Good, be good.
Last time someone got stabbed!
Well, unleash me onto these fools.
No, I need to heal Rocket.
Looks like you need a little help.
Oh,
Don't get your pages burned!
oh shit, I missed that one.
Who's been holding back?
You suck!
Damn, Roger baby. How you doing today, geese? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Interior pressure. Exterior atmosphere. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Jesus, just chased me around the map. How you doing, dude? I went down a hole. I didn't even realize there was one. Fucking hell.
I can't believe we're fighting a dragon! Believe it and shoot it!
Jesus. Oh god, I'm dying.
Hurry this up! I'm getting cold! I'm sure Boom will be happy to warm you up!
Fucking hell.
Hope this makes you swear with Hellbender! Who wouldn't want a giant pet dragon?
Oh, I'm so close to death.
Keep talking to us or Boom!
I'm guessing we're going to lose this battle. Maybe. I'm guessing we're going to lose the battle, not just some shit. Might have just been our shit. But I reckon it was we're meant to lose the battle. You watch. You watch. It was all part of the story. We were meant to lose every time. Yeah.
Bring it, you overgrown lizard!
Okay, turns out we weren't. And now, we have to restart the entire fucking fight.
Good thinking! Muscles! Get through the head! He thinks you two can refund that rock right at the boom's face!
Round 2. Fight!
Who wouldn't want a giant pet dragon?
Keep him busy, crew! Trash! Shut him down!
Do not hold back now!
Keep talking to us or boom!
Let's hurry this up! I'm getting cold!
I hit that, you bastards.
Smoke them, Rock! Feel free to give up, boom!
You'll love Lady Hellbender!
Oh, dear. Oh, shit.
We definitely got his attention!
What's wrong, boom? Feeling exposed?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Come on, Boom! You'll like Sector 9!
Hellbender's got all the minions it can eat!
Oh, shit, Rocket. He's the only one I can make him use his special with. He's the most important one in this fight. Oh, Jesus, man.
Look at those claws!
Quick! While he's stuck in the ice!
Light him up, Rocket!
The ice isn't cracking, you big baby! What's wrong, Boom? Ice got your claw?
Suppose we had sold boom as I originally suggested.
Don't rub it in! Let's hurry this up! I'm getting cold!
I'm sure Boom will be happy to warm you up!
Jesus.
Come, Tree! Let us prepare this plan of yours!
I'll just jump straight into these bombs. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, play nice and we'll go easy on you!
Peter Quill, cover our attack!
Swift! Kick him while he's down!
Rocket! Nuke him!
Okay, right, we actually got him down again. Come on, do your things, yo.
Swear with Hellbender!
You would do well to use her full title in her presence!
Are we even making a dent?
Flesh does not dent!
We seem to be making him matter! So that's progress!
I can stay on that thing.
Time to shred up!
And we're doing this!
Suppose we had sold boom as I originally suggested.
Okay, Drax! You get to pick our next money-making scheme!
Why does it not let me do the thing?
All you, Rocket! What's wrong, Boom? Feeling exposed? I got
Get
you,
up,
Drax!
I'm done.
I can't believe we're fighting a dragon!
It is a truly momentous battle.
Ha! Look at him struggle! Big Boom!
The beast grows desperate.
Can I? Oh, I was hoping to tie his leg down. Maybe I'm just not quick enough. Oh, come on, you dark
Next,
cow.
Peter Quill.
Get up!
Get back out there!
I'm ready! Just find me an opening!
He means to crush us.
Look! He's stuck!
hope this makes a square with Hellbender!
Who wouldn't want a giant pet dragon?
Oh shit.
One more time. Let's knock him out cold.
Oh shit.
We must not fail!
Rocket! Go wild! Gotta fight fire with fire!
Let her loose.
Oh, did we fucking do it? Hey! Jesus, titty fucking Christ. Indeed.
Yes! We stand
Hey,
triumphant!
dragon.
Foom has fallen.
Ha. Well, at least it's not a dragon. Actually, we smashed that bitch. Yeah, we did it. That last one just had way more rockets coming down at that point, I swear. Are these going to be bad or good? They better not be thinking of harvesting that. That's ours. Oh. Oh, it's Lady Hellbender.
Oh, hold on! No, wait, no! No! Lady Hellbender! Drax, stop! Guys! Wait, guys, no! Lady Hellbender, we want to...
Nobody escapes my wrath. Floorboard.
At least point at the dragon.
Monster Queen of Seknarf 9, you said you'd hear him out. You promised.
She's dog.
Speak. I hope this is the one where you make a good speech.
Me too. Well, start talking, birdie.
We screwed up.
It's not a good start of a speech.
We conned you. Robbed you. Killed your... baby. We can't take back what we've done. But we want to make it right.
Like giving you a giant dragon.
Quill.
You murdered the Dragon Lord of Kakarandara! Ah!
Oh, this is where he gets his special power. Yeah, finally unlock his final one. I'm not a murderer, see? See? We're bringing him back. We're bringing him back! He's fine. Bing bang boom, back in the room. You know what I'm saying? He looks so badass in that suit. Maybe his final power is to heal all of us? Because that would be quite nice, actually.
This is new.
Ah. Bing bang boom, ready go boom! Mantis seems to think this is a new timeline. Alright, let's just chat. Why would the big one simply not eat the small one? They're gonna be buddies.
Fate has finally brought the two of us together.
I mean, everyone knew he was here.
Lord Foom.
Why don't you just come here?
The final harvest
shit.
begins. Dead worlds. Screaming across space.
How can you scream if you're dead?
We must go. Now.
I want everyone to get a cool suit like Rocket's.
Someone needs to
I was
take a
going for the
stand
cape
against the
play. I
church.
wanted everyone to be wearing capes if I
Could
could
really
get them.
use some help.
I'm starting to think I want
You
everybody
pay
in
one
cool
debt,
sunglasses
then
and
create
like
another.
Reservoir Doggos like costumes.
No, though I can kind of see
Enough.
that...
I will gather my forces.
Hey,
All right, let's go.
let's do it. If you're wearing a suit and walking away, you always look cool, you know. Can we not get like at least a ride back to our ship? It's a fucking dragon. They could carry all of us. Like 10 times over.
Yes! The noble Lady Hellbender shall
achievement.
fight alongside us this day. After we bested Foom the Invincible.
I think we found Drax's peanut butter and chocolate.
We are on the path to destiny, my friends.
I still can't believe we did it. We did do it, right?
We sure did, and we got Mantis back.
But we lost Warlock. And we'll need him to exercise the Magus once we shut down that ritual.
So we bust him out of cult prison. I've done jailbreaks before, we all have.
Yeah.
We still tracking him?
Oh yeah, that thing ain't coming out easy.
Good. Then all we gotta do is get there on time and hope Lady Hellbender does too.
She will. I'm certain of it.
All right. Let's gear up, people. Tie up any loose ends. Take a pee if you have to, because we're not stopping again.
Okay, shit.
Hey, Quill,
Sounds like point of no return stuff soon.
let me borrow your tunes.
Why?
I need to focus. Come on.
Just play them out loud.
Do not drop that.
Maybe I'll make us a new upgrade since we've upgraded all of our things now.
Mantis? What happened on the Mantis after we left?
New
Last time
conversation
we
available.
saw
Start
you,
us playing
things
can now
looked
be
dire.
discussed in drag.
It's a long story.
Oh yeah, I forgot
We
about
can
that.
talk about it after you do like Star Guy says and use the bathroom.
I don't need to.
Alright, but don't say I didn't warn you in church Grandpa makes you do faith crunches.
Wait, Raker's gonna do what?
It depends.
gonna warn her?
But at some point, someone says my name, and then there's a little bit of pee.
Great. I did not want to know that.
Oh yeah, little fuzzy. Maybe
I'm
a
gonna
little
have to
bit of
pick
pee
their
is
Nope.
Freudian slip. I'm gonna have to pick their best costumes for this final battle, I think. Oh, isn't it lovely?
You're overwatering, Sir Groot.
So great. I
Yeah,
like that.
leave him alone. I tinker when I'm stressed. Groot waters, Gamora meditates, etc.
When I'm stressed, I concentrate real hard, and sometimes I can see the birth of the universe. First, there's only one reality.
I wonder what she's
and
having,
then,
Jesus.
Bam. All reality.
That's kind of cool.
Good thinking. Get the watering sorted out before we go.
Yeah, he's not gonna. Oh. Hey, you are, buddy.
He looks so sad, swishing around in his robes.
What'd he say?
Groot wants to water the Grand Unifier.
Oh, right.
The soaked unifier!
The Grand Humidity.
Oh, what they're having, Jesus Christ. They're all on it. Alright. We talk to Mantis and Cammy.
Mantis, I've got so many questions.
I know, and I want so many answers. Like, seize the means of production. Or, it's not just a rash. Or, yes, it is gluten-free.
Not the answers I was looking for, but
Good to know,
I'm
nonetheless.
wondering about the questions.
What questions?
What happened on Lamentis after we left? You said some people would survive, but that doesn't fare super well for the others.
Many of the elders died.
Oh.
They didn't resist
they're
the
old.
invasion, but they would never accept the promise. It isn't their way.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Their sacrifice bought time for me and the Kotati to hide most of the others. They will emerge when the galaxy is saved.
So you were able to hide them in the caves. Hope you told them to stay away from the fog.
So
How
that's
did
about
you
that.
convince Lady Hellbender to meet us on Maklu 4? You weren't even with us when we decided to go.
Actually, convincing
a
her to go
DX
after you
Machina.
wasn't hard at all. But convincing her to hear you out? Woo! That was tough. I had to get all creepy mystical and spook her with warnings about what would happen otherwise.
You told her about the end of the universe, and she believed you?
Oh, no, not at first. But when I brought up all her precious monsters dying, she came around. Couldn't take that chance with her babies.
At least she
you
looks
know?
after her pets.
Well, I'm glad to have you with us.
Oh, good, because you're not always glad.
Oh.
Why not?
Well, sometimes I'm your ex-wife.
Oh.
What?
I think she's pulling your leg, Quill.
It only ever happens the one time, but it's so funny. Aw, she says thank you for getting rid of Aiden Warsock. Apparently she likes me better.
Adam Warlock?
Yeah, him. She thinks I'm bleats. It translates weird.
Huh, okay. Makes sense.
Hey, Rocket. Working on something?
I'm always working on something.
You're not listening to my tunes?
No, you turned the music on.
Then can I have my player back?
Why? You already got music playing.
He's gonna do something with it, right?
So you don't need the player to focus anymore.
You might turn it off.
Yeah, but
What part of I need to focus don't you get, Quill?
what do you need to focus on so badly anyway?
Something that might give us a way to get through the Armada around Sacrosanct. Just in case Lady Skullsuit doesn't show up in time.
Nice. What is it?
You'll see. Give me a tick. I'll be right there.
Okay, I think we've literally upgraded everything. Yeah, 15 out of 15. Fair
Hey,
enough.
Starscut. I hope you appreciate me more after all that.
I don't know what it is, but
I didn't do
this
shit.
dude
You didn't do
really
shit.
likes closing fridges.
Door keeps opening, so I close it.
But it's broken. I mean, it's always broken. It's a universal constant.
Huh. More you know.
Well, good thing I've been pressing it all the time then. Hey, nice. Nothing new to say. We could do something about the sword. Yeah, there we go.
Now that's a knife.
It is indeed a spectacular blade.
Drax, hey, I was just...
There is no need to explain yourself, Peter Quill. Unlike the rodent, I do not mind when others are curious about my things.
It's a really cool blade.
With an equally impressive history.
You recognize it?
It belonged to Zatar the Unfinished, a great Catathian warrior king who led the first pilgrimage
Didn't
to
quite get that though, did he?
Maklu-4.
The unfinished.
Wait. So you're saying this is basically Excalibur?
I am unfamiliar with such a weapon.
It's a mythical sword belonging to a famous Earth King.
And yes, I suppose you could say this is the Excalibur of my people. It is a symbol of a king and the great hunt he inspired for those seeking to regain a place in Ultath.
Can we go with this one?
Zatar
Let's go.
sounds like a hero of yours.
King Zatar. And he is.
I think
Every
we're a bit more
Catathian
like
warrior
stoked
knows
to
the story of
have
his
half his sword
pilgrimage
now,
to
right?
Maklu-4.
At least it's the helm hand.
Why is he called
not
Zatar the
other
Unfinished,
blade. You
then?
can hold that one.
In the history of my people, a rival king attacked Zatar's lands, easily overwhelming his forces.
Guide.
Captured and broken, Zatar challenged the rival king to a fight to the death. But the conqueror refused, banishing him to a life of dishonor and disgrace instead.
Guide.
So King Zatar went to Maklu-4 to challenge the mighty Fin Fang Foom and change his destiny.
Oh.
Well, that's depressing.
Yeah.
How is it depressing?
He failed.
Because he obviously failed.
There you go.
Fin Fang Foom's still alive and kicking, mostly.
He did not fail, Peter Quill. King Zatar did not vanquish Fin Fang Foom, it is true. But he did redeem himself in the eyes of his people.
By dying? Not exactly a happy ending.
By
It's
never
like Romeo
giving
and
up.
Juliet, but people love that shit
A
apparently.
warrior only truly dies
Fucking
when
Shakespeare.
he stops living. King Zatar proved that our stories, the records of who we were in life, are ours to shape. He could have died a coward who lost his place in Ultath, or he could do what I and many of my
Yeah, he
people
did fail.
believe he did.
Die.
Change the ending of his story.
Nah, his story shit.
So, this great hunt thing seems like a bigger deal than I thought. Did we
Time for
mess
top
it
of
up
those.
for
Got
everyone by
crackers.
capturing Fin Fang Foom?
What do you mean?
Well, its purpose is to regain entry into Catathian heaven and stuff, and now there's no Foom to, you know, send you there.
Peter Quill. There are many paths to Ultath.
Good.
The pilgrimage to Maklu-4 is but one of them.
Right.
When Thanos murdered my family and destroyed my village, twice I chose the path of revenge. First I raised a small army of Catathian warriors. Even outnumbered, we cut our way through the Chitauri line and challenged Thanos himself.
How'd that go?
Wait. On Katath, you faced Thanos twice during the Galactic War?
Yes. But I was not strong enough the first time.
Strong enough to
I don't
survive?
think so, Mojo, no. I
Thanos
think these,
allowed me and a few
remember who
others
makes
to
this one.
live.
I don't think it's because it was
Set an
Insomniac who
example.
did Spider-Man, right? Right?
Defeated and humiliated, the surviving members of my squad chose to make
I
the
think
pilgrimage
different,
to
but this has been a
Mount
really fun game, to be honest.
But I could not
Different Spider-Man, where that's obviously more open world and stuff, but like,
walk the path of revenge.
this one's been quite a nice one, a bit more linear.
Until you helped me put the ghosts of Hovat and Camaria to rest.
To be fair, I had a lot of help.
And yet you have given me a new purpose, Peter Quill. Seems my destiny was not in the mountains of Kakaranta after all. But here,
If you get a chance to play this one,
on this
like if
ship,
it gets cheap or whatnot, definitely
you.
give it a shot.
Well, I'm glad you're here with us now. I can't guarantee where our path will take us, but hopefully somewhere with lots of money and comfort.
I do not have a doubt in my heart, Peter Quill. We will have moderate success.
I'll accept moderate.
Yeah, moderate's good, man. Go down there in a minute. Oh, what's that? Drax down there?
You wish to practice hand-to-hand techniques.
It's still weird when you say my actual name.
I am getting used to it.
We've come a long way since Murderous Sorceress. Wasn't it what you were calling me back on my first mission with the team?
Yes. Peter Quill, spar with me.
Oh, well.
I think I'll pass, Drax.
Yeah, we'd
I
get fucked
don't want to
up.
get tired before the real fight.
Tired. But this is the warm-up.
Not a bad idea. We don't know what's gonna happen when we get out of hyperspace. What if we get ambushed?
That's what guns are for.
Guns.
I think I preferred when you two didn't get along.
Now let me look at the flowers. Oh, damn it. Secret flowers. Come on. Just want to do the flowers.
No, not like that.
Oh, cute. That's from Maclu, right? Better not make toxic spores like those big ones in the forest.
We've got loads of weird ass plants here. Crew's having a little sing.
Sir Groot, I gotta say, I don't know what you told the Katati Guardians at the cave entrance, but they were very cooperative when I came back.
Bet those moves are really gonna impress Lady Hellbender.
I do not need to impress her. Besting the great Fin Fang Foom is proof enough of my combat skills.
Yeah, that would do it.
I'm not sure Lady Hellbender was really impressed with how we handled that fight. You know, since we accidentally killed that dragon before Groot revived him.
Would you not be impressed by a man slaying a dragon?
Maybe if he does it without my help.
Get him.
Raker's going down this time, Gamora. I promise you.
And I promise you, I'm getting Nikki out of there. No matter what.
We will get her out.
Together.
Together.
Together. Oh,
Nice move there, Drax.
thanks.
If I
My
put
name's
my
Peter.
weight on my left foot, I have much better control over my right hook.
People always underestimate proper footing technique.
Focusing on the upper body alone is the mark of an amateur.
Together.
Exactly. Weight distribution is crucial, especially with melee weapons.
Morgoth's breath, you are correct.
Reason will prevail. Pickles will prevail. Alright. Alright, let's get our... Is that something different I can see on there?
Fine, I'll make your dumb stuff. Just tell me what you want.
I didn't want...
You don't pay me enough, Quill.
This one, that's like a separate thing. Maybe it's just trying to say the same thing. Who knows? Anyway, let's get them in their best outfits. So, I think that's already Drax's best outfit. We got that on. Look how his tits jiggle when they go up. Even in the costume. This is my favourite one. We're going to leave him in this, because he looks badass. No denying that. Right. But, we've got original outfit Gamora. Blue outfit Gamora. Cracked outfit Gamora. Like, out on bail Gamora. I'm going to go this one, you know. I think that one kind of works a bit better. Yeah. Then Peter. So we got this one. We got that one. We got that one, which has a cool mask, but I'm not really a fan of that skin suit cracked thing. I'm thinking either that one or the movie one. We'll get the game one. Oh shit. That's the one they made him with originally. So Rocket, we're definitely going to keep him with that. Like, these are the other options. They're all just armors, but badass. So we're keeping him with that. And then Groot. So we can either have him as he was at the beginning. Fire Groot, which is pretty cool. Groot in a suit. Or just straight up naked Groot. I'm thinking either straight up naked Groot or Fire Groot, but I've been using Fire Groot a lot. I'm gonna stick with naked Groot. Yeah, that's our team. They look badass. All right. Ooh. Let's get going, I guess.
Here goes nothing. No, scratch that. Here go the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm gonna barf.
Let's do this. Jesus.
And we're back. Deja vu.
Should have saved
Is
it.
it just me or that fleet looks twice as big?
It's not
now?
like you can go back to
It's
bits.
at least thrice as big.
I'm annoyed I didn't
That's
see
the
the
biggest I've
collector's
ever seen it.
like collection, and then I didn't have enough money to
What
pay off the
now?
fine anyway.
Kill the lights, kill the engines, and wait for Lady Hellbender to show up.
We're sure she's coming, right?
She is a woman of honor, a queen. She promised to gather her
Let's
forces.
rock it.
And how long is that gonna take?
Too long.
No. We can't be too late. We gotta save the galaxy and Nikki. One way or another, we need to get in there and shut down that ritual.
We can't take on a fleet that big.
Sure we can.
Little Fuzzy!
Rocky, what are you doing, man?
We need to get into Sacrosanct to disrupt the ritual, right? We all know we get killed out here. So, I'm gonna make a really loud distraction.
My tunes!
Yeah, I rigged it to blast your scuddy music across all channels, while the church is out looking for the source.
We cut the engines and we flow silently right past them to board the Sacrosanct. Smart.
Seriously?
What about his tunes?
But we're getting it back as soon as we win. Now get back in here.
Alright, let's do this, team.
All right, let's find a place to park.
Do I have to drive or what?
Look at those things. Our deception is
It's
working.
straight through us.
Sounds so surprised. We are so gonna get my music back once this is all done.
Sorry, Quill. Chances are they're gonna blast it to pieces once they pin it down.
Let's make
That's
sure the
tunes.
sacrifice counts.
You can't have a
Can
life
we
without
not call it
tunes.
that?
It's just well that little tape player. And they're not going to hit you in this ship, are they? Come now.
Why are we whispering anyways?
Yeah, exactly.
I know they're out there, but they can't hear us through the ship's hull.
Yet you're still whispering.
Because I don't want to be the one to flark it up if they can hear through
Where
it.
is Rocket in here?
But they can't.
Maybe I am flying. I'm not actually sure. Excuse me. Yep. Oh, we just picked up some blue gem.
What?
Is that Ping Pam Boom?
Morgoth's breath.
Whoa!
Yes! Lady Hellbender has arrived!
She's riding that shit. She can breathe in space.
Guardians of the
That's neat.
Galaxy, stop hiding! The monster lords of Seknarf 9 hunger for battle.
We're not hiding.
We are sneaking.
Because we need to get into Sacrosanct alive.
Then we will slaughter as many as we can out here while you fight your way in.
Right.
Eat my children!
Eat your children.
Crack open their shells and feast upon the sweet meats inside!
I mean, surely they're gonna get obliterated. Oh no, I suppose they're pretty strong. Okay. We fucking nutted that one.
This is so metal. Alright, people, let's take advantage of the nice lady's murdering spree. We're busting into Sacrosanct.
That landing base our way in, but there's still a lot of pain
fail?
between here and there.
We
Maybe
did
we
fail.
can blow
Probably
past them.
shouldn't smoke and fly at the same time. Yeah. Alright, we got it this time. I think I accidentally boosted into a load of them too, so that probably didn't help too much.
Alright, people, let's take advantage of the nice lady's murdering spree. We're busting into Sacrosanct.
That landing base our way in, but there's still a lot of pain between here and there.
Yeah. Don't crash into the ships. I get ya. Third time's a charm.
Alright, people, let's take advantage of the nice lady's murdering spree. We're busting into Sacrosanct.
That landing base our way in, but there's still a lot of pain between here and
Fucking
there.
hell. Okay, we got
can blow
obliterated.
past them.
Risky.
I don't think I even had a chance to see what was happening there. Come on, load quicker. We know we're going to die a couple more times.
Alright, people, let's take advantage of the nice lady's murdering spree. We're busting into Sacrosanct.
That landing base our way in, but there's still a lot of pain between here and there.
Maybe we can blow past them.
Risky. Brute says it's maybe better not to get caught up shooting.
Ah, they're fast! They're taking fire!
Hurry up, Peter! The real fun's gonna be inside Breaker's ship!
Got my best bombs primed and
Oh
ready.
shit.
Crap, that's a lot of turrets.
Kill them or dodge them. We gotta get through there.
Oh Jesus.
Just hold on, buddy. We're almost there. Try not to get shot, Will.
And we're
Oh shit, and we're in. Okay, cool. I feel like these are just practice runs, they don't count the steps. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. Oh shit, we got new suits anyway? I can't decide what this
Mantis, you
is.
sure you can fly her?
I mean, they look cool, let's not be
sometimes.
hasty. When do we get these?
Hang on,
When do we
maybe
want
you
these more?
should.
To arms.
I'm not streaming for episode Shark right now, but lovely dude, check them out. Alright, let's buy it. Gift of the Flora. Groot can now do the same for the single. Yeah, sweet. So even if you die whilst this ability is available, Groot will automatically revive you. Sick.
Yeah, my tracker's showing gold blood in the central rock formation. We gotta get out of this hangar. Show them that. Who knew whooping cultists could be this much fun?
Please, the zealots do not fear dying! You struggle in vain!
These space trains are unstable!
Yeah, Groot. Pretty sure we know exactly why we're here. You heard them. Let's hit them until they pop and crunch.
There we go, right there.
Of course I think we'll win. We're the gardeners, ain't we?
The hangar's wide open! They can attack from anywhere!
That means they can also be attacked from anywhere!
Get ready!
I scrambled more than his brain with that one! My great strength goes underutilized!
Don't strengthen them, buddy.
Lady Hellbender's entrance was quite the spectacle.
Turkeys must have been praying to escape.
These space cranes are unstable!
Can they blow up real good?
Oh, Nerd's over there now.
Ready!
Have him, buddy.
Take heed!
Put down another for nuts!
Drop that weirdo!
Have it. Ugh. Power punch.
I'm with you, bud! Let's squash this guy!
It's all you, Gamora!
Let's get the fork out of here!
How close are we?
Not close! Which is why we need to keep
Alright.
moving!
I'm having so much fun. Oh shit. Yeah, the weird
Run
dudes.
the elevator for us!
Oh, wrong way. What's these? No shit. No shit. No shit.
That means they can also be attacked from anywhere.
Rocket! Let's see that sword!
That's another nut job! He's down! He's open! Go to town on him, big guy!
No fair! He's boosting everyone but us!
Let's sever his ties that bind!
That one is under a violent spell. Beware!
We don't want to be in the way of that! Look! The elite one's mending it up!
What are
You
you
don't
waiting
stand a
for?
chance!
Shoot him in the face!
I can't figure out how to hurt this
Jesus,
one!
this one keeps getting me.
Find one being
Get down here.
What's the opposite
Get
of
over
fear?
here. Thank you very much.
Really missing my tunes right now, Rocket!
We get out of this alive, we'll make you a new one!
Do your thing, Drax!
No mercy!
Save your nice words for later, Quill!
Oh, thanks, buddy!
Flyer's killing the others!
That's not fair!
He's boosting his squad!
The sorcerer protects the rest!
All the more reason to kill him first! Don't make this a habit!
Thanks, Gamora!
Punch the bitch.
Take down the flyer! He's healing the rest!
Well, that's not fair! The blood cat's amping up his buddies!
Only one try!
What would I do without right with you, big guy?
Oh shit, didn't see that nerd. Let me heal. Oh shit, I'm not healing shit.
I am in your debt, Peter Quill!
Barely a flesh wound! You'll be fine!
Peter Quill, unleash me onto these fools!
Yeah, go on then.
We got this sucker right where we want him! Let me at him!
Hold him down, crew! Really missing my tunes right now, Rocket!
Oh yeah, we can't do a group huddle.
I'll make you a new one! Listen to Groot! Get in here!
Okay.
Mantis, you still alive?
Go here.
Now!
How can we be certain they have not found a way to convert the Warlock?
It would explain why they took him prisoner instead of just killing him.
And there's a lot of faith Scott beaming into this place.
Warlock hates Magus. He already evicted the thing once.
Maybe they made up. You booted me and Groot, but here we are.
I did not. You left.
Yeah.
My point stands.
No. If Magus had turned Warlock, he would have been here to greet us.
Yeah.
This place brings
Mantis, no spinning! Why is she spinning?
I would love
Basic
to see the
maneuvers.
terror on our enemies' faces as Fin Fang Foom swoops in to devour them.
Don't worry about my flying. Just
Oh, shit,
worry about
nerds.
your shooting. You'll meet new people soon.
Already here, Mantis!
Oh, say hi for me.
The Celestial Madonna sends her greetings.
Let loose, Rocket!
He's off his game! Let's knock him down!
Better now, thanks.
Round him up, crew!
These people fight without fear. They
It's pretty
fully
easy once
embrace
you just
the
spam
promise.
them with that shit.
There's millions more where they came from.
Let's hope Mantis and Lady Hellbender keep most of them busy outside.
Hey,
You
we
know.
can get through here.
You coming, Quill?
Door's flarked.
Scut. We need to go that way. See if you can overload it.
Oh, that's the ice one. Oh, that's still the ice one. Maybe I have to aim at something else.
Yeah, I smell it too. Some kind of culty funk.
Oh, hang on, maybe I
tree
need to
has
put
no
it down.
nose.
Okay,
Yeah, he does. It just ain't where you'd expect it.
Disturbing.
there we go. Now we zap it. Boom,
Still
baby.
mad at us? Okay. Sorry we left such a mess last time we were here.
No, we ain't. We win. We get first dibs on all the salvage, right?
Lady Hellbender may
Seems
have
fair.
an opinion on that.
Rock and roll, Rocket!
Is that what they call a spiritual experience? Oh, not down the cultist.
Imagine the havoc Lady Hellbender must be wreaking outside.
Crew's probably crunched half the armada by now.
Big like a tree.
Big guy is knocked back! One less cultist to worry about.
The Mars commandment #1. Thou
We
shalt
made another
stab.
mess.
Groot's right.
He is
They
Groot.
started it.
It's a big cult. They've got to have janitors.
Yeah, every like well-respected cult does have janitors. That's fair.
I'm tempted to trash this whole landing base so they can't bring in reinforcements.
There's no time. We've got to get to that ritual.
I'm more worried about what's in front of us than what might land behind us.
Oh, good. Here comes the cleaning crew.
The spill is back that way, boys.
I do not believe these people are janitors.
Broke another cultist.
Having fun preying on the weak? Nice to meet you!
Kick their butts.
Anybody feel bad killing these dopes? Cause I don't.
These assailants do not fear dying. An additional challenger defeated.
Oh, slam dunk the phone.
Can't take
These
Peter!
fanatics only understand violence.
Keep pressing scan instead of melee. God damn it!
We win. We get first dibs on all the salvage, right?
Let's rush the finish line before we start dividing the spoils.
I kind of want to know how they made so many uniforms in such a short time.
The fabric inhibits their potential.
Push down the sword bombs.
We done. Okay, down the well. Lovely.
You said it, bud. They are gonna throw everything they got at us.
And we will dodge it.
They ain't got shit. See? They ain't got shit. Hey guys.
Ah, there we go.
shit.
Path's this way. Come on.
Star Guy, what does the angry orange light on your controls mean?
Which one?
The one under the tape. Oh, now it's yellow. Now orange again. Ooh, yellow.
Just ignore it, Mantis.
Tape over my warning lights?
You're distracting.
You just lost your tape privileges.
It's my tape.
Soon Lady Hellbender will dismantle this vessel, piece by burning piece.
I would love to see that. But from the outside.
Yeah, let's not be here when she does.
Oh hey, look at this. See you, nerds. Oh.
This This feels like the wrath of Lady Hellbender!
I'm guessing I can still get that down there somewhere.
Turbines!
Is this really the safest route?
Lord, no! But safe ain't my top priority right now! Quill, I bet you could pull up the rest of them floor panels!
Just needed to not be windy there, little buddy.
See? Told ya!
Good thinking!
We ain't going out like this!
Just get behind something!
Don't stand in front of me!
Shit! Oh shit! Not that I actually need any of these.
This wind shall not break our determination!
It sure is trying!
Defiant, furry one!
Alright, get that fuck out of the way. Oh fuck! I didn't mean to do that.
This sucks! Yeah, that too!
Wrong one.
I feel like I'm back on Seknar!
What are you doing up there?
Gonna go to get that box over there.
Analysis or something.
How do I get over there?
Will's mind works in unfathomable ways!
That it does.
There's no way I can make that right. Shit. Oh shit. Oh come on, I was on that. The thing hadn't even bloody started.
You can do this!
Uh-oh. No, come on. No, fuck off. What's happening here? Please let me go left, you bastards. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just want to get a fucking costume. Oh, shit.
You suck!
No, I don't. It's the kids that are wrong.
Did you guys get the radioactive plasma bridge?
Oh, for fuck's sake, this fucking thing. Every time. Come on. Jesus. Oh, dear. Jesus fucking Christ. That was a bit much. I mean, that's pretty cool, but I'm going back to Team Lord. Oh, right, not back, I haven't tried it yet. Nah, actually, let's keep that on. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, thank God we done that.
Did they turn this on just to hold us back?
Bastard stack baskets!
Oh, Jesus. This one of the spacebar is not being as reactive as it usually is. Or I'm slow. One of the two. Yeah. Oh.
Go get him, guys!
Scott!
Great. Now what? Where is he?
Oh.
Ah, got him. Golden Boy's this way. Come on.
Yes, we're going out into space. We got no other options. And I got a theory. Yup, artificial gravity. Figured a ship this big would need it for repairs and stuff.
Fair enough. Good thing we're in our spacesuits still, actually.
Hang on. Okay, go, go, go.
Oh, that space with your head so much, though, right?
Nothing to it. Yep, signal's coming from somewhere inside that giant frickin' rock. Yeah, that scrap heap's taking pot shots at our monsters.
Enemies ahead, Peter Quill.
Okay, we got this.
Come, test your metal.
Gamora, slice him up! Pulverize him!
Surgeon's worried! They sent Nova after us!
That Nova Corps dude was bonkers!
These renegades are relentless.
Crush him, Drax!
We are still a great distance from the church's altar.
I just hit to one dude and mashed up the other dude.
Snag him! How are we holding up?
We're good, but my trigger finger has gone numb from all the murdering. The big one just won't
Get
ride.
over here.
Will's killing Mookie cops now. Music to... Yeah, you might want to dodge those next time. Oh, man, look at them turrets.
Focus on the ground troops rockets!
That is certainly an exaggeration.
The church is worried! They sent Nova after us!
Their strategy is flawed.
Blow him away, Rocket! Shoot! Down! How much time do we have?
We have the time we have.
What's next, Peter?
Next, I got a hill. Right, now we can do whatever we want. That nerd. Let's go.
Any last words?
Blitz him, Rocket! Beautify him, Groot! That bloody Magi is really starting to tick me off! How do you think,
Let's take
Gamora?
this sprint next soldier out then.
Death has come.
Come on.
We are still a great distance from the church's altar.
Might find a shortcut soon!
Let's go!
Have him.
Move it! Finally!
Fine, get fucked up still.
At least we got past the fan bit.
Oh yeah! That second blue!
The space battle is frenzied.
Kinda wish we were in the thick of it.
I will enjoy this.
I see him! Hold on, bud!
Have it. Power punch to finish. We're not getting ratings anymore because we can't physically upgrade anything anymore. I don't know why I'm still trying to collect the power
Do you
things.
just make up those words, or do they mean something?
They mean I'm sick of getting
Also, we've
shot
killed a lot of
at.
innocent people there.
Suck
Just
it!
brain mush.
Duffel stompers!
Not bad.
Rocket, can you pop the lock on that door?
Yeah, just let me do it.
Well, that didn't work.
Panel's flarked. But I got a better idea. Hang on.
Okay. Oh.
Out of the way!
Oh, it's gone green.
It's rocket time! And that's how it's done!
Excellent work, little
We
fuzzy.
do that more often.
You don't get to call me that.
Heads up!
Rocket! Fireworks!
Fighting on the outside of the ship is pretty epic.
The songs they will sing of our exploits.
This is how it's done!
I'll be here all week.
Oh yeah.
Ah, there we go. Path's this way. Come on.
Crew's just
Alright,
like
let's keep
vibing and
moving.
shit instead.
I am brave.
Oh shit!
Thanks, Groot.
Don't even need to ask him now.
Holy Scott!
Guess that one's off to Monster Valhalla.
It was a noble death.
Mantis, how's
We
it
don't know
going
if they
up
died.
there?
So many dead. It's always hard to watch. These beasts are very brave.
Hold on, okay? We're making good progress.
You are very brave too.
Chop them up! Load up!
Are we sure they can't turn off the gravity out here?
If they do, just make yourself heavier.
They keep throwing troops at us!
These were close, right?
You did him a favor! That wasn't no normal Nova Corps creep!
I am happy to be here fighting alongside all of you.
Nowhere I'd rather be!
Star-Lord for nothing.
Oh, getting a load of those sliding power punches to finish. It's nice.
What? He wants to know who will plant all these bodies with no dirt out here. I don't get what he's...
He knows we bury our dead.
Oh! That ain't planting, you big goof. That's making worm food. Ain't no space worms.
I fought space worms.
All right, let's figure out a way to get
Bet
through.
raccoons had
We're in
space
a
worms.
rush, apparently.
Oh, yeah,
Try
I
your
can.
blasters,
I know what I
leader.
can do. You don't need to tell me, Gamora. Jesus,
keep
I have my own
pushing
brain.
forward.
Where even are you? Speak to me. Talk to my face if you want to talk to
I
me.
fear I will not be able to
Talk
harm
to me
your
like a
child
man.
if she is lost.
Of course you wouldn't let him, you big lug, but what if she don't give us a choice?
I'll take care of it.
Even if it means...
I'll take care of it.
Thanks, bud.
Any bets on what's down there?
No.
Better than being exposed up here.
Okay.
Guys, it's not too late to surrender. Damn. Just drop your blasters and we're all even, okay?
Right! That floating freak's fixing up the rest!
Thanks, crew.
Drax, destroy!
Let us finish this!
Keep the herd coming!
Why so
About
tight?
time!
No fair! He's boosting everyone but us!
Then put him in a body bag! Problem? Solution!
Oh, motherfucker.
Cup of coffee?
Rocket! What is this place?
Not where we need to be! Let's get through here!
Throw that, Drax!
Scut and skirt medic is really complicating things!
Putting him away first will make things much easier.
I will sacrosanct the blood, piece by piece, to find that child!
We all will! Show this sucker the real meaning of hurt!
What? We're not showing him the real meaning of Christmas? Come on. He could change his mind about
Dies
that.
this day! It has nowhere left to run!
Hear that? Monster Daddy's going down!
Don't shoot the freaks while they're redirecting!
Ah. Just stuck up
Priest
there.
is boosting his grunts!
Oh, there's still a priest?
Blockhead's amping up his buddies!
Prepare for pain!
Not doing a good job of having up his buddies, they're all dead.
Anybody keeping a kill score? I've gotta be up in the thousands by now!
Why would I? My records say countless!
Oh, there's still a nerd here.
Tie them down, crew! Raker had to know he's chasing here, right?
I don't think he gives a scut!
Oh,
Guy's
Jesus.
an ego bigger than this whole ship!
Look, they surrendered.
we made a compelling argument.
And we beat them mercilessly.
I was gonna say, it felt more like we just
Expecting a
kicked their
monster to
ass.
come crashing through the wall.
That would be very, very bad. Maybe we should keep moving?
I would like to leave this enclosure.
Yeah,
I
to
cannot
the
see the
KIM.
battle.
You mean you might
Back
miss
to
a
the
peek at Lady
KIM.
Hellbender?
And Fin Fang Foom.
Do you think Foom holds a grudge?
Yeah.
We bested him in his own lair. He will forever recognize us as his superiors.
I don't know why I'm picking these up.
Yeah, well,
I'm
he's
really hoping
Lady
we get some like,
Hellbender's pet
ultra
now,
weapon
and
that we
she
can make at
does
some
hold the
point.
grudge.
That is true.
It's a door.
How does Lady H get them monsters to attack the right targets anyways?
Okay, here we go.
What's that, the Milano? Oh, Jesus.
These things are built like freaking Terminators!
No, we will be there, Terminators.
Chop, chop, Gamora! Punch him up! Get him, Groot!
Oh, why did it stop even aiming upwards?
Big me, are we barely denting this thing?
No, we're
It
kicking
is
its
as
ass.
venerable as it is large. We must break it.
Smash him up,
Feel
Drax!
this?
I will end you.
I will end you.
Ugh, they suck even when they're on fire.
Yeah, well, I like watching them burn.
That's cool.
Mantis, Groot wants to know if we're winning so far.
I've got to give you credit, Peter.
Really?
Your crazy plan is actually working. I never expected Lady Hellbender to show up here.
I wasn't sure we were ever gonna find Foom.
Ah, we did that, not just me.
You're the one who brought us all together.
And kept us together.
Against our
actually.
better
Yeah.
judgment?
Everyone quiet.
Rocket, tell me we're almost through this.
We're further than we were the last time you asked.
Mark!
Don't blame me. I'm just the guy with the tracker.
Danger close, Rocket! All you, Drax! Hit him down, Groot!
Never see it coming!
Return Peter Quill's child at once.
Breathing there, Groot!
Leaving them now?
Sounds so much like the Spider-Man soundtrack at times on this.
Wrong way! Split them up!
Turn them my way.
Now, Gamora!
On it!
Nice.
Cut to pieces!
Ah! The flying one has been grounded.
Punch their lights out!
There better be a way through here because we ain't going back.
No retreat. We charge forward.
Smash it, Gamora!
The Centurion will torment us no more.
That's dealt with.
Dare you shoot me from
More
afar, you
defectors
nerd.
are trained in ranks.
Funny how their helmets don't stop my blade.
We're meant to be going this way? I've completely lost track. They're coming over here to fight, it's all good.
If there is no passage, we will make one.
Justice is swift. Ah, this is the right way. I know it. Been too long since I blew something up.
What is next, Peter Quill?
Fuck them up. Oh shit.
It needs to be ensnared!
Return Peter Quill's child at once.
Oh shit.
She won't come willingly until we end this madness.
So we shouldn't have done that one actually. Shit.
Deadliest woman incoming! Time for the big gun! Watch your step! A lot of nasty drops here!
You're the one always falling off of things.
Rip them up, Drax! Let's see those branches!
Perhaps we can help Lady Hellbender from here.
No need to show off, big guy. I think she already has a crush on you. My guy keeps dodging my shots!
Not now. Okay.
Like a hot knife.
Hey, nice. Hey, thanks, Ping Fang Boom. I didn't think Ping Fang Foo would be in the final of this game when I started playing it, that's for fucking sure.
I believe
Hey!
this is your Star-Lord.
I mean, I pressed it in the green circle so they can fuck themselves.
Okay. Nothing broken.
What I love most about you, Quill? What? Your ever-present cat-like reflexes.
I could have did it your way, it would have broke.
Glad you got your music back, Quill. I can take a look at that device if you want. See if you broke anything.
You are never allowed to touch it again.
That's fair.
Bug, you need to be extra careful in the part with all the really big robots.
Who is Bug?
Oh, that's right. You haven't met Bug in this one.
Careful, it's still hot.
I got this.
Yeah, chop some pipes. Careful, they're hot. Time for a slide, let's go wee!
Like holes.
Giant robot.
I hate these things. Not even sure it is totally robot.
What does that mean?
It's running on faith energy, right? That comes from people. Well, Musclehead's in trouble!
Did that one fairly. Oh, it's got 2 health signs.
There goes the arm!
Gets fairly hectic.
It'll be a slice!
Man, that giant robot can take a lot of pain. We're glad we got him. Fight it that way, Drax.
Oh god, I nearly went down there. Got the music player back. Now we can rock and roll.
I hate even thinking this, Quill. But maybe we should run. Those Flarkers are all over the place.
He's right. It's gonna take everything we got to defeat them.
Seriously? You're talking about retreat. We're the Guardians, dude. We live to fight. So
That's
bring
we've got
it
no other
on.
choice.
'Cause I say
Galaxians.
these Flarkers are going down. Who's with me?
Let's do this!
Time to
It's hard to surprise her!
Groot, help him out!
The giant robot is stumbling.
Drax, you're glad we've got
Can't
him
even
on.
tell what the
Watch
fuck's happening
out
here.
for us.
She knows how to take an entrance! Like, every single time!
Groot, all hands on deck. Drax, toss it. Carve him a new one.
I wonder if Mantis can make me some of those arm raisers
Oh,
for
he's still there.
quarter brawls like this!
And maybe a bigger pair of them for Groot. Stretchy slice, suckers!
Blow him up. Zap! I love playing Zap
Okay.
the Zealot.
These
onslaught,
deluded
man.
souls do not know
I think
when to
those
quit.
things have people in them.
It wouldn't be the weirdest thing we've seen.
They're creepy either way. Come on, we gotta go topside again to reach Warlock.
This looks like a Drax job
Leave
to me.
this to me.
Yeah, we don't even need to tell them now. They're all on it. So,
We survived this. We should invite Lady Hellbender to join the team.
yeah, barely
There
one
ain't no
side.
room for her on the ship. She's like 3 quills high.
1.5 quills at best.
Her armor alone must weigh 6 quills.
You know what? Let's vote on it. Do we invite Lady Leotard? Nope.
Yes.
Yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah,
She's
let's go.
awesome. Mean, but awesome.
Groot's a no. So that's 3 no's and 2 wrong answers. The no's
A
win.
fair vote. I will concede.
Ah, Drax, you big dummy. Hey, big dummy.
Groot's wondering if the whole church is here.
They must be. They'd want all hands on deck to protect their ritual. Incoming!
Now that was unexpected.
Fortune
I
favors
know, I was
us.
kind of waiting for
We're
it at
not
some
sucked,
point,
we
but
avoid.
it's
Unless
still very
Breaker
nice.
shuts off the gravity.
Just have to hope he's
Groot's
too
way of
busy with
flying
the
over
ritual
stuff
to
is my
think.
favourite. Just
Are
like
we sure
long leg.
Warlock's all the way over on the other side?
Yeah, as long as we keep moving forward, we're going the right way.
We have
Thanks,
found
Groot.
purpose. We will not die here. If we do, we will see
Hello.
Ultath. The correction. I will see Ultath. The rest of you will see whatever heathen paradises you believe in.
Where are you going, Quill?
Just following my gut on something.
Perhaps Lady Hellbender will join us in our final battle against the Magus.
Something tells me she's got her hands full.
They are large hands. Strong hands.
Yeah, I get it.
Now where the flark is he going?
It's called scouting, okay?
We've finally
It's
got
a
all of the
shame Lady
Apocalypse
Hellbender-
ones. Okay, maybe we'll change it to the Apocalypse ones. Just because we've never had another full gang in this one. Alright, now we're bringing trouble, baby. Now we bring
Ender didn't
now we
have
bring
this
the
kind of
pain.
army to back us during the Galactic War.
Building her legacy. We are fortunate to have her now.
Yeah, let's stay on her good side.
This is it. We're almost there.
Okay. Let's fucking go. Don't you dare bring in like Adam Warlock or anything right now. I want to fight these bitches. So, the fuck is that? Chitara?
Cosmo, is that you
Oh,
in
Cosmo.
there?
Da.
Duh.
Spasiba, Guardian of Galaxies.
Since you freed him from the promise, Cosmo brought knowledge itself back up to you. So that's literally knowledge right there.
He
Nice.
is no longer chasing
Fucking hell.
stick that is snake.
Celestial head.
And look, Cosmo is bringing knowledge
Yeah, we noticed.
and family. Say privet, my pops.
It's good to have you back, buddy.
Ha! Cosmo is very much like filthy fleas. You are thinking he is gone until he is
Right.
biting on your ass.
Cool
Such
ass
a good
mask.
boy.
But yeah, I'm glad to finally
Yeah.
have all of these outfits.
Cosmo is best of boys.
Cosmo's best of boys.
Now we give these brain fleas the bites they deserve. Attack!
Imagine that, just a giant fucking head. Did you save? I did, yeah, man. It's not the miss. Like honestly, the fact you can never find a dog on Sleeping
I had
Dogs.
no
That was
idea
the
nowhere
worst thing
could
about the
fire
game.
death
I love the
beams.
game beyond that,
This is
but
sweet.
And that
That's
dog has his
painful.
paw on the nuke
no
button.
dogs on Sleeping
gonna
Dogs.
have to be
But
nice
yeah,
to him.
Cosmo. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, and yeah, we did save him. He was gonna go just
We
get him
should
like
keep
super
moving.
brainwashed and
We
shit.
are moving.
No,
But
he's
we
not.
should be doing it faster.
So fucking hey, we don't have to tell her to cut anymore either. That's it, guys. Start taking the
Once we
initiative.
get
I like
inside
it.
that rock, chances are we're gonna have to go toe-to-toe with the Grand Unifier again.
We'll stomp on his toes.
I've only got one of his arms. I'm dying to complete my collection.
Wait. What's that?
I'm trying to wait. You're progressing me through a cutscene. Oh, fucking hell.
We're about to go splat out here!
Oh, now they're just floating. Oh shit.
Not this time, you didn't. Be careful on the slide.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, what? Oh dear.
Clark!
Hey, good thing we're glowing.
Light us up!
That's alright, no, leave us missing. Oh, actually, no, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's sick, actually. Look at that. Some real nice lighting in this.
Keep your beds tucked in.
Which bits?
All of them.
I don't like this!
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh. It doesn't have any dogs, but it doesn't miss its chew. The baddest chef in Hong Kong. That is very, very true. And Sleeping Dogs was such a good game as well. But 1 out of 10, no dogs.
Light us up! Groot! Give him a minute. He just flew through space.
We all did.
Keep your bits tucked in.
Which bits?
All of them.
Yeah, he hasn't put on his light.
Exhilarating!
Where's his light gone? He never turned it on, the little bitch.
Of course you think it's fun.
Watch out for debris.
Oh no, sugar more.
My skin is so resistant.
I'm glad you can jump, I wasn't actually sure.
Only suckers wear pants.
This better lead somewhere solid.
Don't fall off the edge! Don't fall off the edge!
Well, that was close.
Acknowledge my velocity.
I would have kept those dogs fully alive. They would have been happy. They'd had so many treats.
That happened!
Yes, it did.
Whoa, the tracker signal is way stronger in here. We're getting close.
Something tells me Raker's cronies won't make this easy.
Neither will we.
We're here for Adam Warlock. Just bring him to us and we'll let you go.
They ain't listening.
Then we gotta bring the piston in.
Time's up. This is gonna be our last chance to take down Maggots. All or nothing.
We ain't gonna block it up. Maggots is as good as that.
Oh, who's on our side? Shit. Is there any nerds down here?
I hear we would be lost without the insect woman.
Mantis would make a great guardian. Just saying.
Wrap him up, bud! Slice and dice!
We'll have a little look back
Rangers
down this way.
congregation just lost a member.
We can't just jump down there. Okay.
What a waste! Mines like this were the backbone of the war resistance.
They should abandon their false god and return to work.
Oh, power punch.
No, I don't think there's plants in Lady H's army.
Okay, nice,
He brought
nice.
the fauna, not the flora.
So in regards to like games of animals, I really want to play that Stray at some point. It's sick.
Somebody needs to pluck that tracker.
I also then want them to make a game like that for dogs.
Got it.
These deluded souls do not know when to quit.
Get the point.
I am trying to destroy.
Making short work of these cultist creeps!
These deluded souls do not know when to quit.
Yeah, go on then. I love fireworks.
More combatants, Peter Quill. You attempt to reason with them as well.
It won't work. Just put them down. Watch the sidelines. Lots of nooks and crannies in here.
Cowards! Face us like warriors!
Wipe them out, Rocket! Wreck
So
them
everyone's
tracks!
go mental. Let's go fucking mental.
Stick it to 'em,
Let's go
Groot!
fucking mental. There we go.
Let's keep pushing. The signal's pinging from deeper
Good
in the
thing we have
mines.
lasers and not I wanted that to blow up. Yeah, good thing we have lasers and not bullets. We'd be fucked.
What if Raker and his forces are perceived as martyrs?
By who? Any church member has already accepted the promise. You may have a
Oh,
point, though.
lordy.
Cults don't just go away. Thanos still has worshippers.
Cults never leave, fam. Hello, up here, eh? Again, I don't need these, but I feel compelled to get them anyway.
Hard to believe this whole church
More
sprung up
nerds.
from a bunch of miners.
Wish they'd stuck to digging.
Chop them, Gamora! Rocket! Sink these off!
Not looking forward to hearing him yap again.
Is it me or are we barely denting this thing? Here.
Wish we had a way to take some of this ore with us.
Ain't nobody trading that stuff once the church is gone. Too
Where
risky.
am I in? It goes in again.
Where he came from.
Don't be sad. Keep
Don't just say
pushing this stuff.
employees.
Lights out. rocks!
All over! Enjoy
You
yourself.
got it!
Get it!
Well done, you two! A tactfully executed maneuver!
Run him through! Tie him down!
You're right, buddy!
Meet your
You're no
maker!
meat on drilling!
Down, boy.
They fight with renewed vigor!
Ain't nothing more invigorating than putting down some blasphemers! Right, you scut puke bags! Environment in open space. If you're attacked unprovoked, you have the right to claim
Good,
the
right?
battle
There's still
spoil.
people trying to fight.
We
Oh, hello.
have
Yeah.
definitely provoked them.
They provoked us first, lots of times.
Oh shit, I got lasers.
Shoot
pretty heavily.
the muscle!
You're in this now!
Save your ammo! Hit this creep with a special surprise!
Gamora, cut him down!
Wake up! You are being deceived!
It's pointless! They won't hear you!
Teamwork makes the dream! I guess. Well, let's all hit this thing!
Let's do it, boy.
Eat this!
Sick of Drax!
Do we trust Lady H not to stab us in the back?
Never! Her honor forfeits!
Saddle lads. Let's do it.
Up! Victory will soon be ours, my friends, unless they send reinforcements.
If they do, we'll have to move like lightning. Hit them from behind. But what if they're too fast? We'll need another plan.
Hey,
Do it.
hey, hey! Every battle comes with
Oh
some
man,
kind
I
of
should have had bench
curveball.
boost like not
Trying
last
to
week, the week
predict
before.
where
The
it's
game
gonna
last
land
game day
only
before
makes
that,
things
I had like
worse.
16 points on the bench. I was well
Relax.
annoyed. I'm
It's
so
easy
far
to
behind.
overthink when things get tense, but if we focus,
We can hit him
It's a
hard.
fucking silent man. 9-0 and the bastard can even get like an assist. What a prick.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
prick.
Our opponents do not hold back!
they don't want to disappoint Monster Daddy. Put him up, Gamora! Slow down!
Alright.
Idea, bud. If we pull
Gross
this
scores
off,
for my
we
bench
should
every
come
except the
back
one I
here
used to
and fill
bench
up our
boost.
cargo hold.
Yeah man, that
Sell
is
the ore
always
on
the
the
bloody
black
way.
market? Payment for a job well done?
Seems fair to me.
Yeah, I might need to make some like might need to make some subs,
Well,
you know.
we ain't making that jump.
Peter's got this.
He does?
I
Your
do.
quill possesses the magical weapons.
Rocket, you sure Warlock is in here somewhere?
Unless he ditched the tracker. Yeah.
I don't think he'd do that if he found it. He'd know we're on our way.
Oh. Intimate discharge, medical scan, etc. So do I need to shoot that somehow? There we go. Easy peasy. Oh, hello.
Hey, your safety inspector, present your documents to the judge for accuracy.
Jack, you gotta do it fast, like so. Safety inspection! Blam! You failed!
Make him hurt, Gamora! Groot, you're up! Rip him a new one! Smoke! This is looking less and less like a Warlock prison.
Trust in the tracker! This is the right way!
I was just trying to wake him up!
These deluded souls do not
He
know
did not
what
have
to
a chance.
Blam! You failed your safety
His whole
inspection.
family died.
Good dad, Drax.
Correct.
You know what to do, Quill. Good question. Once we're staring down the ritual again, what do we do different this time?
Relentless and excessive violence.
That seems needlessly treacherous.
I know, but it might pay off.
Hard to believe that this all started with a bunch of
Oh, I'm never gonna make that.
sick.
If that hadn't happened, Raker would still be mining rocks.
I want to live in that.
No, you don't. It's even worse than this one.
Okay. Nice, nice. Oh, hello,
Oh, guys, it's like Christmas back here. Another one for me. Me again.
New costume. Alright, we might have to do a costume change again. Chosen daughter outfit. Okay. Alright, okay. Let's change them. I mean, that's probably her coolest. Although the street vibe one looks cool as well. She hasn't worn that one yet. Let's go. He hasn't actually worn that one yet. Back in a suit. Because let's be real, it's the way to do. Golden Guardians. Oh, that was still like the final one. I'm gonna put back in that. Alright.
Oh, I just had a great idea on how to keep Raker distracted.
Here we go.
Drex, think you can fake a heart attack?
No.
Else in here, sweet.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, a little heavier, but totally worth it.
Just be careful on those jumps.
Like I'd ever miss these jumps. I'm really hoping he can make something new because I've got so many
This old workbench
points.
is kind of crusty, but I do some of my best work with crusty tools.
You have nothing to
All right,
upgrade
Rocket,
anymore.
let's prep for the big game.
Let's do it smart. This may be the last chance we get.
Okay, well, that's all perks, and I've done them all. So, why am I still collecting these? Oh no, my battery. Okay, I need to quickly change my vape batteries too. I'll be 2 seconds. Huh. Oh shit. Popping batteries everywhere. Okay.
You don't pay me enough, Quill.
I don't pay you at all.
Okay, I think I'm ready to end this.
You and me both.
Alright, let's actually do a little save. We haven't done this in time.
What the?
Ah.
Hey, look, they get the Adam Warlock channel all the way out here.
Speaking of Goldilocks, he should be right on the other side of that giant murder bot army.
You've gotta be kidding.
That's quite a lot of them.
They've got it locked down with a faith shield. Think we can unplug it like we did on Nowhere?
It's worth a shot.
That's a lot of bastards.
Aggression by the Universal Church of Truth
cannot be tolerated.
Lethal force has been authorized.
Surrender will not be considered.
Holy Scott, they came back.
Of course they did. Give him hell, World Mind.
Means the to come back and fight for the galaxy. Yay!
It is imperative
Imperative that you evacuate this vessel
before we fire upon it.
Hold that thought. Adam Warlock's on this ship.
Incorrect. Adam Warlock
perished in the Galactic War.
He's here, alive. He is still alive, right?
The Church abducted the Golden God. We intend to free him.
You said it yourself. Adam Warlock is the only one with the potential to stop this.
Very well. We will focus
On reducing support forces.
for now.
Nice. Good on them.
Act with
Haste,
haste.
Guardians.
We, hit a little bit of a roadblock.
Step forward
And witness the full destructive potential.
of the Nova Force.
Okay.
Oh, yeah!
yeah.
Okay. Let me double check there's nothing to loot in this room before we leave it.
The World Mine is a powerful magician.
Root! Show him your roots! Mitch him! Toss him around!
Looks like we're on mob-off duty, guys!
There are no challenges!
No, we ain't friends with the fucking World Mine. Temporary allies, at best.
It's alive! Or I mean, it was. The robot met its logical demise.
Feels like I've been shooting that big bot for hours! Ouch! Sorry about that! Watch it, Drax!
They're like weak as fuck anyway.
Along, suckers!
Wait, we have to hit that. But let's do this, yo.
These machines are indirect violation of
Galactic law.
Jeez, remind me to never piss off Nova Corps.
Let's see him
Correction,
smash them all.
remind me to stop pissing off Nova Corps.
Well, them have it. Shit. Back to meet Darth Vader, I think.
There, Warlock.
Hang on. I'm calling us a ride down to Gold Cheeks. Make sure you grab on good.
Oh shit.
The drone, not the cheeks.
Grand Unifier.
Everyone down!
Finally come to confront the captive, castigate him for how far he's fallen.
Shut your mouth for once.
Clear shot.
Don't.
We can't risk a fight from up here.
You show up on the very eve of our ascension. To what? Take everything from us once again?
Me?
Why not?
Tell me what I ever took.
My faith! And not just mine! You abandoned
You got
your
loads
flock.
of faith now.
The very church you helped me build. You let us believe our God was dead, and with you, any hope of restoring those we lost.
I thought that
You promised me my son!
I promised only partnership. You sought subjugation. My mistakes were many, but your mania is not among them.
Enough! Enough of this! The true divine vessel awaits. You're nothing but a husk.
You ain't
A
nothing but
faded
a
shadow.
husk.
But even you will feel the light.
Hear me. Halt this horror. Raker!
Look at these all came down right here, right? Easy, Adam.
Guardians, breach my bindings. Even now, Raker readies his restoration ritual.
Rocket, can you bust him out?
If I gotta.
Let me guess. Raker's power proved more pernicious than predicted?
There's little point pondering possibilities past, daughter of Thanos.
Jesus,
Soon
the
Fever's
alliteration of
faith
this
will
guy.
flood Raker's fledgling and feed the fiend.
Not gonna happen. We're gonna shut it down together. Right?
Right.
Alright, let's go in your sleep little outfit. Looks like
Okay,
Morbius.
let's go, people.
Come! Time
Morbius
dwindles
Mephisto.
as we dawdle.
No, Morbius. Vampire.
I could put him back up there.
Don't tempt me.
Might as well.
If Magus finds physical form, its insatiable cravings will consume all of creation.
Unless you eat Magus first.
A severe simplification. We must excise the entity gripping the girl.
But how much of Nikki will remain?
If her light lives, it lingers lost, dissolving in a dream discarded.
Drax completely bought into the promise, and we got him out.
I would have remained with the ghosts of my family, had you not.
Magus kept the Catathian killer captive, but with a sinister splinter, a seeping piece of itself. The child chambers the entire entity.
Well, end of the world here, remember?
What's up? Do you want a group chat? Or... Whoa. That door doesn't open, guys. We're gonna have to go with him.
Hurry, go!
Why'd you shout?
Rejoice! You made it just in time for the miracle.
Hey.
Grand Unifier, I trust you can hold them to bear witness.
Easily.
That's what happens when you're a wayward parent. Kids just go mental and blow up the universe. We lose. Something feel a little like we've lost. Oh dear. Nah, we can still save the world, I'm sure. Probably. It's not world even. The whole universe. It's got hands, that's neat.
My lady, push through your pain! Fulfill the promise!
Monster!
Rousing speech time.
It is very good! I will skin you!
See if you can...
He can't shout to Nikki there. She would never hear him.
Peter! Peter! We can save her! Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Am I meant to be doing something?
She needs your help, Peter! Focus on my voice!
Keep talking then, woman. Where is she?
It isn't too late!
Oh, you dumb shit. I can't scroll any faster.
You're almost there. Focus.
Did I do well?
Dad! Come on, get up! We don't have much time. We need to get everything ready. Mom will be home soon. Come on, get up!
Nikki, what?
Oh, back to trying to give him the promise. I hope I haven't failed here, savagely. Oh, my pictures. Okay.
No wonder she wants this so bad. We look so happy.
That ain't real, yo.
This is so weird. How do I get Nikki to see it?
Needs to tidy your room whether or not it's real. Well, no, it doesn't matter.
Finally! I need your help. Mom will be home for lunch soon and I want everything to be perfect.
Nikki.
For her birthday. That's today. Did you forget again?
Okay. I know this is gonna sound weird.
Great! So, can you help me set everything up like we said yesterday? I just need help with the holo projector, and then, there's the cake and the present that we got her. I want everything to be perfect before she gets home.
Nikki.
None of this seems oddly familiar to you?
Oh no, I ordered it from the bakery planet.
There's a bakery
Okay,
planet?
That part was always weird.
That sounds sick.
No, I baked it. Okay, that just leaves the present and projector.
Can I not just chat to her a bit more? Maybe I should just try to snap her out of it. I don't want to be too forceful, you know.
Dad, the projector?
Wonder how great you'll think I am after I destroy this nightmare.
No, maybe she'll get you a cup.
Okay, Nick. What if I told you none of this is real?
Obviously not. It's not focused right or something. Can you refocus it?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, okay. That's still pretty cool.
It turned out so good. I was sure I messed part of it up.
Speaking of messed up...
Yeah. It's hollow, and the star system around it, and I think I got all the moons.
It's beautiful, Nikki.
Just need Mom's present now. I think it's somewhere in my room.
I've just been in your room. You go get it.
Corral. Wish you were here right now. I kinda need your help. Insurmountable odds is right. How do I get through to Nikki?
Fair enough. Well, at least she's doing a good feast for him.
Happy birthday, love, Nikki and Peter. What am I supposed to do?
Did you find it?
Yes!
Okay, put it with the others.
You stay here. I'll holler if I need you.
I feel like being cautious is the right move.
Great! The gift. Put it on the table.
You put it on the table. It's clearly just a tin. Okay, well, I'm guessing that's not exactly where we want it. Where on the table do I put it? Up here? It's on the table. Does someone want me to put it? Oh, on this table. Ah. Okay.
Does anything I say here actually matter?
We got it. On Nowhere. Remember that artist's alley we went to and the painting she really liked? Of Kree-Lara?
Guess that answers my question. Any chance we can talk now?
I don't think so. How does it look?
Looks like you're knee-deep in this promise.
Thanks, Dad. I love you.
Oh boy.
Peter, open the door.
It's Mom. I'll make sure everything's perfect. You get the door.
Don't push me. Jesus. We going along with this? Alright. This door? We're going to see if anyone's behind this door first. Alright, calm down. I am getting a bloody door. Jesus.
Oh, am I ever glad to see you. It is crazy weird in there. Nikki's on a loop. Nothing I say matters. We need to find a way to get through to her.
Peter.
I know. We need a plan.
There's no we.
Okay, I get it. I have a lot of making up to do.
Peter.
If we're gonna do this...
I'm dead, Peter.
Ah.
Yeah,
Ah, shit.
but... not like dead. Right? I heard your voice. No, you brought me. I'm seeing you here now.
You're seeing a ghost. Some part of me is inside the Soul Stone, but not in any way that's real.
We can figure it out. Maybe we can find a way.
You need to
Well,
focus
Groot
on
brought
her
a dragon
now.
back to life, so...
Help her accept that I'm not coming back.
I wish you would have told me.
Told you what?
About Nikki. You know? You, me, 12 years ago.
Oh, Peter.
I did the math.
Her promise isn't real.
Ghosts everywhere, man.
Yeah, I know, but the
Gotta be
rest of it
careful.
is.
Not even safe in space.
Right, you and me on Mercury.
Loads more out there, in fact, because of Alien.
I remember that night.
Fucking xenomorphs.
So do I. But she isn't your daughter.
I'll get him.
She's not my daughter.
I don't understand.
She's a war orphan. On the shuttle home, the Kree Council was rounding up anyone who wasn't full-blooded enough. Nikki was this tiny little thing.
A wolfen.
I couldn't let them
good.
kill her.
I like it.
So I'm not a father.
Good. You did still lose the girl you liked 12 years ago?
Well, not her father.
Wow. Okay.
That doesn't mean she doesn't need you. She has to let me go.
I tried. She won't listen.
She has to. The birthday, the presents. Whatever it is that's keeping her attached to some fake version of me, of us. Destroy the illusion and make her listen.
You know I'm not equipped to.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you have a jumper.
You have to be.
Yeah, right, yeah, he's got 3. In fact, he could just get her if he wants now, it's no issue. No tie. And she slinks away into the night.
I know.
We got this. Give me some conversational choices. I'll smash this shit. Alright, we're just gonna go in there, smash the shit out of everything.
Where's Mom? That was her, right?
She hates you.
She's not coming.
Of course she's coming.
She fucking hates
I
you.
guess that was just Carlos telling us she's running late.
Who the
Which
fuck's
means
Carlos?
I still have time to get the music just right.
Destroy the lie.
She has to come. Hey! What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Nick.
Fuck your cake. Fuck your present. Fuck your couch.
Stop it! Stop it!
Fuck your solar system.
Ruining this! Mom will still come.
It's not real, Nikki. None of this is real.
I hate you! You're not my dad! You're not my...
Yeah, kiddo. I know.
Fuck you, fuck this, fuck everything. Right, I know.
You ruined
Teenagers,
everything!
man.
Mom was gonna come in and... All I want is to see her.
Oh, she dead, man.
Whatever walks through that door won't be your mom.
You don't know that.
There's a lot I don't know. How to keep my foot out of my mouth. How to not get arrested. How to console a 12-year-old whose very legitimate grief might just destroy the galaxy.
It's just this
But
galaxy,
this-
it's not as bad, right? It's not actually the whole universe.
The promise, Nick. I know a con when I see one.
This isn't about you. Why are you even here?
H. I remember feeling this
He skipped a bit.
cavernous...
I don't care how you felt.
Wow,
I should relate to her.
that was brutally honest.
I've seen your promise. I've seen hundreds of thousands of promises. None of them help me.
I know. I know. I just want you to know that I've been through some version of what you're going through.
Yeah, man. Aren't you glad we're long past that stage?
Yay!
I don't think we helped her very well.
I need her back.
Shouldn't have tried relating. I
I
should
don't
have just
care
tried
if it's
being
not
like-
real.
I'm sure none of them would
I
have
need
worked very
things
well.
to go back to how they were, even if it means making the same stupid game for all stupid eternity. Just the thought that she might come back is better
Yeah,
than
they'll never
admitting
come.
that she never will. And then it's all my fault.
Your mum's dead. Get over it.
If I hadn't distracted her, if I'd been quicker.
You're not the reason she's gone, Nick. Don't put that on yourself.
Why not? It's true. If I had just...
It's not true.
Well, maybe it is actually.
You didn't make that thing. You didn't release it. You're not the reason your mom was where she was. There's a lot of blame to go around, but there is no way you deserve any of it.
Blame Rocket, I know, right? I'm not throwing him under the bus, but Jesus.
Only you can reject the lie, Nick. All I can tell you is me. I don't think it's her. I think it's a very bad thing that wants to eat the entire galaxy.
Maybe I shouldn't trust her. She is a teenager.
And you know your mom? For all her faults, she's not the galaxy eating type.
Your mum is, I get him.
But it doesn't matter what I think because it's not my promise.
Talking to Peter.
I can't destroy it for you.
So let's just say that the creepy thing at the door is not my mom.
I can do that.
I still don't know how. How does anyone? Am I just supposed to smash cakes all day?
I mean, if she just gets into drugs and alcohol, she'll forget about it for a
Breaking
good
stuff
10,
is
20
pretty
years.
cathartic. But there's other ways.
You didn't smash that cake very well. You can set everything on fire. There's no wind in here. Why are you blocking it?
It's an earth thing.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have
My
to
mom
like
taught
sort
me.
that. What, light and a lighter?
The idea is that you light something to remember someone.
Flame was dancing
Pay
about all over the
tribute.
place.
I mean,
Struggling
it's
to
not
keep that
magic or
flame
anything.
like on the actual
Doesn't
wick there,
bring
aren't they?
anyone back, but
Space candles.
you know, it's a gesture,
Where's the subtitles gone?
a small thing in the face of a very bad thing. Sometimes that's all we have.
People in charge of subtitles were like, just fuck it, I can't be bothered, man. I wrote so much dialogue by this point. They'll get it. This little light of mine.
I keep thinking back to
I
the
know
elevator.
it shine.
She was angry at me.
Not that angry. More like, lovingly concerned. Hey. Whatever happens, you're not alone.
Although we are ditching her
Okay.
after this, because she ain't our kid.
Thank you. But there is something I do have to do alone.
Poop.
For everyone.
She's a candle in the wind now. Oh shit! She just turned into Phoenix or some
No,
shit.
child! You must return!
Stay away from me!
Don't get too close to her head. Oh, nice bashing. No, we can use her power, right? She became ginger, right? So- I feel like she. Oh, is he gonna take over it now? Is he just gonna? He's gonna. Oh, he's reabsorbing it. I was gonna say he just ends the universe himself anyway for the fun of it.
Shadow! Hey, weirdo!
Time to fight. Say goodnight.
Crap.
We ain't getting through that.
We have to, or Golden Boy's toast. Focus on Raker's fan club.
Rocket! New dog! Someone us! Anyone heard from Mantis?
So, siphoning must cease. Incoming! Ain't nothing getting through!
Used all of us.
Get on the road! He's puffing up his team!
Our enemies grow stronger!
Cut to the chase!
With fervor! Time to shred them! String them up!
The Rosie one's making the rest of them harder to kill!
Just pop that fool so he stops handing out treats!
This one hurts! Much!
Love it at him, big guy!
Oh, fucking hey, that one got him pretty well. Okay. This is just a Cyberman. Yeah, but yeah. They look like some weird Ultron looking things, to be fair, but... Oh, hello. Power up. Or is he just sacrificing himself? Look like we're from Fallout. She's just had a really good bath.
Now you will. Good speech. Blast him! You cannot pierce my left my faith, rain.
Last time someone got stabbed!
Oh, you rocket! My great strength goes underutilized. You will. Not so tough now, are you? It's all you, Gamora! Keep him busy, crew! You're a big guy! Contain yourself, thief! The corruption! That was a display of power!
But you guys know you
Don't
can
make
do
them
that!
kill you.
Let my faith rain down on you!
What the fuck going on?
Man, are we even putting a dent in this guy?
Throw that, Drax!
I'll enjoy this!
Perish! We pull this off and we'll be famous!
Maybe we shouldn't overdo the press tour.
Should I do that? There we go.
Rush him, Drax! We must strike the large one with more force! The wizard is weak! Drax, toss it! Groot, do your thing! Drax, shut him down! Mickey! Not worried there!
Please. Jesus. Yeah, no, she's like monologue in the background. We've made her like all tied in sticks and shit.
Me and Groot, we win this in our sleep.
Thanos used to tie me in fights like this just to make it interesting.
They are no match for these blades, Peter Quill.
All right, listen. This isn't our first rodeo, guys. Problem is, if we play it cocky, one little mistake is gonna bring us down. So let's get back out there, give this fight complete dedication, and make them scream. Who's with me? Victory is ours!
Yeah, let's do it. Right, why not?
Let's...
Hold him down, Groot! Gamora! Run him through!
Nikki? God, it's worried there.
The child is resilient!
Watch your back!
It's almost over. So, siphoning must cease. You cannot unleash me onto these fools.
Oh shit.
Ready. You will
Feel Drax! Kick them! Light him up, Rocket!
It lied. It lied.
Do not waste this chance! Shield our wrath!
No little girls left to hide behind her!
He did not like that! Nice one, Gamora!
Impossible!
Use all of us.
Let the darkness come! Say it's lied to you, Raker! Hide to everyone! Incoming attack! You cannot pierce my faith! What is next, Peter Quill? Siphoning must cease!
This has got my name on it!
Groot, help him out!
Ugh! This guy barely feels it!
Line him up, Groot! I believe so powerful!
You can take us up around. Oh, bloody hell, man. This took enough time.
No!
Take us up around. Nice trophy.
Please, not when we're so close.
And he's done. Fiery. Rip his arm off. Rip his arm off.
Please.
Killed your mama.
It lied to you. To both of us. Look at it. Really look.
My child. He did it. You brought him back.
Still don't know if that like gold has just been put on his face. He didn't have it in the past. So I don't know if it's paint or like a panel. Hey, he's dead though, nice. We did that. That's a lot of shit to be taken into your brain, dude. Good job.
Behold before you, your benevolent guardian of the galaxy.
It is done!
Okay, okay, we'll give you this one. Shall we? Our dormasses await.
No one's gonna give a shit. We're still gonna owe that money. We still can't pay it. That sound like a crowd of people though. There's gonna be no one there, son. They all gone home. Oh no, there are charms.
So,
Nice.
we actually won?
Fucking right we did.
We must save the entire galaxy more often.
Count me in.
Hearing lots of
Next
cheering,
time
but I'm seeing very
I
few people up
promise
here.
I won't almost destroy it first.
No more promises from you.
It's the Willpower transformation. I haven't
We're
seen.
in
I
this
know. I haven't
moment,
seen what it's going to
people.
look like. I
Let's
knew it's
make
him
sure
playing
we
him,
bask
but
in it.
Hey,
There
Cosmo!
you are, you old dog.
We have multiple dog report items to discuss.
Case is closed. No need. Guardian of Galaxies. Live up to name.
Yeah.
They had some help.
Oh gosh! Who are all these little guys?
If Guardian are looking
Is he looking
for
good as a
more
boy?
work,
I
Cosmo
hope so.
always chasing
I'm looking forward to seeing Adam
I
work properly
think
in it.
what we need right now is a nice walk.
Oh really? Because yeah, Will Poulter's a fairly small dude as far as I'm aware, right? I thought there should be some music playing. Maybe if there wasn't I didn't have the streaming mode on.
Well fought, Destroyer, and your delicate friends.
The lady deems me delicate?
And who is this precious
jeez.
little candy in his golden wrapper?
Ew. Gross.
Lady Hellbender, we regret the death of so many great beasts, but we honor their sacrifice.
They died protecting their pack. There is honor in that.
Will you return to Seknarf 9?
We must first build a worthy home for Foom, or he will devour every creature on my world.
If he gets loose again, give us a call, and we can discuss rates.
She looks like a Doomslayer. No, well, she's just Lady Hellbender, I guess. I don't think she's meant to be from Doom, but she does look a lot like him. She also kind of looks like, was it Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever it's called? Looks like the main character in that, just much bigger and with a dragon.
Hi, doggy.
Hey, back. How you doing, dude? How was your streamer, man?
As we calculated, the Golden God
proved key to dismantling the
Universal Church of Truth.
A sound summation.
How about a little credit for not letting you make the worst decision of your collective lives?
Rank 8 on your Island Sanctuary. Nice.
Twice.
Cool.
Your additional.
How long is it going to take to get to rank 9? Is it like one of those long, like, grinds?
Computational.
You can just feel the world butt clenching.
Definitely meant to be music here. Don't know why they don't just play one of the non-copyrighted Star-Lord songs. The facility upgrade should take a chunk out of it. Okay, nice. Just some Final Fantasy, yeah? Oh, or Monster Hunter. Right, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? There definitely should be. I turned the copyrighted music off, but there definitely should have been some there, I reckon. Oh, hello.
What, wild beast?
Damn, jank.
Foul fluid! Foolish, fickle creature!
Behold, one of the other guardians of the galaxy.
What did he say?
Yeah, that'll show you to your room. Except we don't got a spare room, you big lug. No. Flark, no. Hey, Groot, you give her yours. I got a lot of important scud in mind.
I'm glad it's this ending and not the really sad one.
Me too.
How many sad endings were there?
Ugh, a lot.
I feel like there still should be music.
Oh. Please proceed.
Ah, you go ahead.
No need. I insist.
No, I
This
insist.
is kind of like the Four
Please
Guardians sort of.
proceed. This pointless pageant
body
of
ship at the
politeness
moment.
plagues our progress.
It's
Which
alliteration,
is
man.
why
I feel like this man's saving the move on.
you
Oh,
should
really?
go
Okay,
first.
fair.
Very well. I will voyage through the vexing vestibule.
He actually looks a bit like Henry Cavill there. But yeah, the characters in this were so well done. They really were. What was that about? They got little business cards. That's cool. And there we go. Nice. It's taken us 2 months to complete this. So I'm hoping the original vlogs, the videos, are still saved,
So,
or at least I have a chance
what
to
now?
still save them.
I don't know. Sky's the limit, I guess.
Clearly it is not.
We could rob a bank.
We are broke.
Whoa!
It just keeps
I
appearing.
am not robbing a bank. That's illegal.
And super fun.
You are corrupting the child.
Relax, Drax. It's a suggestion. A potentially really lucrative suggestion. You okay there, Gold Bond?
It is irritating indigestion. Nothing of note.
Okay. Well, there's a bathroom in the back if you need it.
So, Mantis, now that the universe is safe
Just kind of
again,
reminds me
what
of the
are you
unicorn
gonna
from
do?
Men in Black 3 now that I
don't
think
know.
about it. I don't
I guess I'll
remember
go back
that.
to
Like Men in Black
Atlantis.
3, was that the one
Although,
where it was like
I
a
hear
young
Earth is really
Kay?
nice this time of year.
Was that one?
Ooh.
I remember
Maybe
watching
I'll
it, but
go
I don't
check out
remember too much of
Contraxia.
it. If
You
that was
can
that one.
gamble there.
I don't remember much of the
Should
second
we
one
give
either,
Contraxia
actually.
a bit of time to, you know, unpromise?
Either way, it is no place for a child.
Seriously, man. Oh, you don't look so good.
Where's the first aid kit? I have basic field training.
We do not own a first aid kit.
What are you talking about? We have a first aid kit.
Engine tape doesn't count.
Probably just
Pretty
need some
much.
ginger ale.
Oh, just got
Don't
cheap of some
worry
sort.
about little old me. I feel simply
Uh-oh.
fabulous.
Aegis. Oh no.
Come on!
Eternal!
What
Huh.
is even?
Are we about to have another fight? I think we are. Holy shit. Fake credits, yo. Different cave time travel. That was it. There's a weird guy who can see all the multiverse like Mantis. Ah.
Magus.
Yeah, this is the one where Golden God Guy is consumed by the bad thing and tries to destroy the galaxy. And probably succeeds.
Why does it feel like bug girls inside my head?
I'm inside all of your heads. This way, Magus can overhear your super amazing plan.
Which is?
Oh, no. It's better if it comes from you.
Him. Me. Destiny makes three.
And we're all gonna die.
My final form. The new norm.
Let's see what Firehead can do.
When that thing attacked my mom and me, it was terrified of the stone.
Yes, I too have sensed its fear of the stone.
Oh, yes! The ancient stone! One of the six! It's the only thing strong enough to contain the all-powerful soul of Magus!
Okay, so we just gotta get him closer and then throw a magic rock at him?
Exactly.
Tiny, whiny, vexing specks. Woohoo! What are you all up to?
Mantis, how do we lure in the big bad?
It's time to kneel before the new ideal.
He's lost alliteration, but he's picked up right.
Nah, not being friendly. I think she means aggravating.
If anyone can piss off a god.
It is us.
Do it! Kneel and revere your god. For who better to oversee?
Cool guy.
Bravo! Bravo! You're applauding him. I'm clapping ironically.
Does he know it's
Just
ironic?
like, yeah, it really is, isn't it? Pax? Yeah, very controlled, like, you know.
Yes! Applaud your god.
Nope. You grant nothing but lies and false promises.
And you're the worst!
Then why are you clapping?
We're mocking you, idiot!
What? I said kneel!
Are you kidding me?
Stand back! I got this!
Nikki, no! Get out of there!
Trust me!
Yes, this is right! This is the way! Everyone should be
Throwing a fucking planet at us.
You heard, bug lady!
Well, mate, I can't do anything right now. I can't move. It wouldn't let me do anything. I was trying to run forward, it wouldn't let me. I think he died. I was holding forward. Pretty sure I died. This game has been glitchy at times, it has to be said.
I said kneel!
Are you kidding me?
Stand back! I got this!
Nikki, no! Get out of there!
Trust me!
On you, bitch.
Yes, this is right! This is the way! Everyone should be now!
You heard, bug lady!
Everyone, stay close!
How the floor can shake!
Go on, Nikki.
There!
Little
See?
Phoenix.
Told you I got this!
Hey, that was amazing! How did you...
No idea! I just can now!
So far, so good, Guardian!
Oh, so he's gonna get me. Oh, get out of my face.
Is a crime against the new divine.
Oh, perfect! Groot says we got more bugs!
Let's see that sword! Rock it! Go wild! Make anyone else feel kind of bad for Warlock right now?
Oh yes!
Laura, slice him up!
Die for this! It's not his fault!
Get ready to
Oh, shit.
squash some bugs!
Flark in space, please!
I am confounded by our location. Were we not just on the Milano?
Less worried about our location and more worried about the giant soul-sucking god thing!
Oh shit, why is it spinning? Let me just hit it. Stop spinning!
Station! There's always more roaches!
Oh, fucking hell.
It comes with Coach Ulrich!
I suggested meeting the worm's advances in the future.
Thanks, Groot! Drax, destroy! Chop him up!
Okay. Sounds like a dude from Final Fantasy 14. May well be the same voice actor.
Such dimwit grit. Why not just submit?
The stone! You must use the stone!
He's still too far away. Seems like he's hanging back on purpose.
What are you waiting for, Quill? Say something to throw him off.
Yes, infuriate him with your carelessly chosen words.
Beleaguered brats, like little gnats.
Cat, bat, muskrat, mat. You can rhyme. We get it. Seriously, how is it possible for you to have gotten even more obnoxious?
Cat, Vad, splatty, splat, splat!
You begin to annoy me.
It's what we do!
Combat, format, diplomat.
That doesn't even make sense.
You know, makes sense.
Gosh.
Ever since we met you, you've been nothing.
Rezzy, he didn't say my man.
And now you gotta rhyme everything.
There's been a while. How you been keeping?
Inconsequential ingrates.
Okay, pretty sure we
Yeah, it's at the very, very end of this.
He's doing the planet thing.
Nikki, you ready to save our butts?
Alright, let's hope it lets me run forward completely again.
Hey, I'm the one with cool powers now, remember?
It's definitely growing.
Oh shit.
Everyone to the kitchen.
Jesus. Real busy? Cool, man. Hopefully good busy and shit.
I fucking love you guys.
Yeah, how's life? I've definitely not seen you stream for a
Well
good
done,
while.
child. Okay, I
That's how
definitely
it
think
goes.
we're getting to it. We just gotta
I
hold
definitely
out a
go
little longer.
slowed down myself. Busyness definitely breeds business.
I have the crawling ones emerge!
Have at him, Drax! Root, man down!
How should we celebrate our destiny victory?
Don't know about you guys, but I'm celebrating with a vacation.
Oh shit, where's my mouse?
Another brain bug. Brain bug. Looking weird.
Don't worry about that, just keep doing it for Drax! You got this one!
Oh, Sir Groot, you're such
Short,
a
Groot!
gentle soul, but sometimes it's
Bombs away, Rocket!
Oh shit, I fell off the planet. Didn't mean to do that. Did we join up in great? Fucking A, dude. Nice. Hey! Kyle Sharky, my man. I got confused over which name I should use. I'm trying to use absurd more, but it's just on the call you Kyle, you know? How you doing, my man? And Rezzy, what you doing nowadays, job-wise? Oh, oh fucking hell. Definitely getting fucked up here.
I shall break their bones!
Dead, dead, and dead.
Fuck, I need to stop falling off of this, god damn it. Motherfucker, did you see that? Oh, come on, I jumped back on there, you bastards.
How many times have I saved your butt now?
I thought I was a goner, man!
Thank fuck, Jesus Christ. Completing your PD events this week at school. First day is first day of students. Hey, fucking A, nice. Feeling confident. That's what I could say on Twitch these days, but oh no, right, fucking A. Fair enough,
but
dude.
It's true, these monsters won't play by the rules.
Definitely is a different job. That is going great. And you just got your internet upgraded? Fuck yes. It's but we need to say it is
We are getting
yeah, let's
creeped
get
out there.
this.
You want to know why? Because we keep trying to fight
What's
fair.
your- what's your internet
But in
saying
this
now, Kyle?
galaxy, you don't win by fighting fair. So when we step into that battlefield
Completely
again,
different there,
let's
man.
give those losers a taste of their own medicine.
how you
Move
finding,
with me.
however you're doing it. That's well, great, I guess, but yeah. Nice. Right, now I can do this. I can just chill, fam.
Thanks, bud. Do your thing, Gamora.
Sooner or later, everyone will fall before me. The entire galaxy will fall.
Guys, the stone's being weird.
Now is the time, Guardians!
Reel him in, Quill. Only way to get a clear shot.
Submit
Yeah.
to me.
I'm assuming you're making alright dough on it?
I said submit!
Now, Star Guy!
Come on, man. You literally just help us save the galaxy. And you know, all that other
I
good
should've wound him
stuff
up. I
we've
don't know
been
why I went
through
for this one.
together.
How is this reeling him in?
Really not playing to our strengths here, Peter.
I'm saying you're still Adam Warlock, who is definitely not a galaxy-destroying villain.
Wrong! Warlock was just our first form. Magus is what he was always meant to be. I am the reason for the seasons, the planets, everything and all. I will rule everyone.
Does not sound very reasonable to me.
I am the answer and the call.
I should have.
Definitely not going.
I should have built him
Oh
in more.
no, this is not the one where you should.
Oh shit.
I'm thinking this is bad.
Oh shit. I should have definitely gone the other way then, I guess. Choose the other option, I guess that's what they're going to say right now. It's just trying to be nice.
You suck!
It's just trying to be nice. Garments this guy what the fizz bucks are for since you know something. Oh, the fizz bucks are for
Sooner or later,
to get more waffles.
everyone will fall before me. The entire
So
galaxy
10k monthly
will
after
fall.
tax. Fuck.
The stone's being weird.
Pete's being broke, supporting parents now too, so everyone's benefited from it. Damn, living in the same, still living the same new. Just secure feels good. Yeah, I can imagine, dude. And that's it. Like, if you can like whilst the times are good, bank. You know what I mean? And then hopefully, yeah, if it ever slows down, you guys are still minted. Nice.
Have you met us?
Fucking A, I'm
That's
like
right. We're the guardians of the
parents out as well.
galaxy.
We have business cards.
And we'd rather
Bang.
die than submit to you!
Nice.
You dare defy a god?
So in a way, Rezi, you're probably
you
still
no
kind of
notion of
streaming, but
my-
just in a very different way.
What did you say?
She said you're the worst.
Get him.
Your mockery mocks
By the way, I
my
hope no one
very...
thinks that I haven't put anything poop. Not at all, dude. I mean, to be fair, I asked a question. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if I had that much coming in monthly, I'd probably get a couple of nice things, but yeah, try and live modestly still. Damn, fucking hell. That must be weird. But I guess if it's under your own terms, then like, yeah, can make good of it, right? I've been terrible with quick actions this whole game. I knew it was going to give me a load of them. I finally got how to do them though. Oh, F this time. Ooh, okay.
The stone's gonna fry you, Quill! Like it did the first time! Just run!
That's alright.
Ain't no
Sacrifice and
time
shit.
to make up for what happened, you dumb scut! Just drop it!
No! I'm the idiot who released this freak!
First 3-4 times, was when a couple of it's like near the job, get done, go home. Fair enough. Oh shit, meant to be tapping. Just like Rezi. Can I stop? Oh, there we go. Nice. So I keep hearing the achievement pop. I haven't seen a single one of them though. Who knows what I got? Oh, there's another one. So many achievements.
He's got to be
so
okay.
little knowledge.
Right, Mantis?
I do it because other women though. Fair enough. Fair.
The important
Yeah, I was
thing
going to
is
ask if you two were like doing it together or just comfortable with it.
This was not his sacrifice to make.
Oh shit, Razzie! Thank you very much for the sub there, dude. That's super nice of you, my man. Achievement, die. Do it together. Yeah, nice, fucking A. Even, yeah, it was super on your terms, then I guess. Nice. Do you guys like do it yourself? I've got loads of questions, but do you do it all yourself, or do you like do it for like a studio or something?
Not yet, bud.
Only bad.
over.
Ah, right.
Like over? The Magus is contained for now. The most insatiable entity in the galaxy is once again a prisoner of the Soul Stone.
Good.
All that is left is determining what to do with it.
Just flush it down the shitter.
Those are both terrible ideas.
He says we should combine
week and we
both
just do it there.
ideas.
Damn.
Stone is
Sub to
neither
Fizzle.
bomb nor bauble.
But you get a good shit, Kyle.
Not yours to bear.
And Bax,
Whoa, whoa,
Razzie,
whoa.
you remember Razzie? He's not been around for a little while, but he's important now.
You
But you may
cannot
have seen some of
contain
his
this
stuff.
calamitous force. I created
downhill
it.
after the initial thrill.
I am
but
its keeper.
No one can
I've shown
keep
all my
that
toes
thing.
now, so you know,
Mantis.
pretty good quality for the last like 5 years.
Chances of the galaxy being consumed again if we keep the stone?
Very high.
And if we give it to Goldilocks?
Not as high.
The child was correct. That perhaps the pull of its power would one day split
Back's
my lone
just straight up
soul
searching right now, I imagine.
But I am not alone.
Just to be sure.
Well, I've
the
actually
chances
got
of the
19.
bad
That's why
galaxy
it took a
thing
while to
happening
show
if
them.
we sell
All on
the
one foot though, so
Astronomically
nothing
high.
weird.
The best way to make sure the Magus doesn't get out again is to make sure together.
Back on your head.
You know, the second
Carl,
you feel
for only
any
6,922
I
pence
shall
a minute.
call upon your crew.
You could see the rest of that
Motley
content.
though
Oh
you
yeah.
may be.
It's
I
okay,
fear
for
we've
only
fallen
753,000, you can just do a catch-up button, and you can watch it all
And I
instantaneously
accord my
straight into your brain.
atonement for the trying to kill you and eat the galaxy. A momentary misstep.
That's fair. We've all been there.
Yeah, well, sorry for all the mean stuff we said about you.
The mark of
It's
a
quite
man
short for a
is
god.
to be bridled. None other than he himself must be mandated to
Does it work for people with
toil
brains
as-
as big and the greatest mind? Oh, really good for those, because you've got extra space.
I mean only to
you
say
can fit more in straight away. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't recommend a whole
Good.
19 toes to everyone else. You could at least
just that
15. Oh, I reckon you could push for 19.
I'm not the
though.
one you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
convince.
Haven't gamed in a while. Hopped on the PC tonight to come say hello.
certainly
Some of the
not.
streams you used to watch. Like, hey, oh
Certainly,
damn, good thing I
yes.
streamed tonight. Yeah, I'm streaming a lot less. I'm trying
Well-
to do like more Mondays, but in the coming weeks, I think I'm going to try and do a bit more like daytime gaming as well.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's been damn good seeing you, man.
Okay, now I'm convinced.
That's one of the great things about Twitch, though. Like, there's certain people you can like, you know, like people go doing their own things in real life and stuff. But like, it's always lovely when you actually get people to come back again. How late are you going tonight? I'm going to be ending after this. It's already like 10 to 11. Fucking hell. My main, basically, I had Xbox Game Pass for 3 months. I've got less than a month left and realised I haven't completed a game yet, so I thought I should push on with it. Although that being said, on Game Pass I did play a little bit of Power Wash Simulator, Accelerating. Got super bad motion sickness, but once I changed the field of view, it wasn't so bad the next time. Yeah, in fact, Bakura and Inzamo were both around here last night. Me and Felicia had a little housewarming here. Lovely little times. Drinks, foods, and smokes. Lovely, yeah. Doing good, Razzie. Like, I think since I last spoke to you, I've moved now. So I'm on I used to be on like a 2nd floor, and my back being bad, I couldn't get on that. But now I'm in a bungalow. As Bakura said, all shacked up and happy. So yeah, it's all good. I mean, I've still got my back disability and the pain and stuff, but it's been better. Like, I can definitely. People that I've seen as well recently have said like how I look a lot more straighter when I'm standing to them now as well. So yeah, doing well. Yeah, it does, Bakura. Yeah, I still had the problem with, like, I got really bad motion sickness the first night I played it. Then like I just smashed the field of view. I think I still felt a little motion sick after the next time, but like I put up the field of view quite high, and it wasn't too bad. But that's multiplayer as well. So if you still got yours, Bakura, we should hit some of that up soon, maybe. In regards to this was a good game. If anybody gets Xbox Game Pass or just fancies buying it, you're gonna have a good time for sure. Definitely some glitches though. There were certain missions where it's like, how is this even meant to work? Oh, good little Cosmo. Yeah. Good to bro. Where about you live? I travel a lot now. I'd love to come for a smoke. Well, I live still just outside London, not too far. I try not to say like obviously on stream and stuff, but but yeah, I moved not far from where I was. Still fairly near Heathrow, basically. Are you guys still? You were in I want to say you were in North London, right, Razzie? I feel like you were in North London. I might be wrong there. Ah, you're in Essex now. Okay, nice. So if you're close, oh, see if we do bring us to have a proper smoke. I mean, it's very hard to say no to that. Let's be real. Fair. Okay, right, nice. How you finding Essex? I don't think I played a festival in Essex once, but I didn't really get to see what Essex was like. Is it like, because obviously North London's going to be quite full on, I imagine, at times. Is Essex a bit more chill? I know there's actually countryside in Essex, but there's obviously, I imagine, actual towns. Better than where he was before? Fair, nice. See, I can't tell if this is the Guardians theme tune, or if it sounds a lot like the Spider-Man one from the movies. Seen too much there and too much shit probably from 10 years ago to move. Fair enough, dude. Yeah, that's it. You can get a nice fresh start, why not? Just fucking sure. Nothing worse than trying to make a new go of it and having shit pulling you back again. This probably is the Guardians theme tune, it's just you hear so much other music in movies that it's easily forgettable.
It's fine, really. I can sleep on the couch.
The couch is fine. I've seen the rodent relieve himself on it.
She could sleep in Gamora's room.
Since when?
Oh, come on. You're a girl, she's a girl. You can play dolls together.
There are so many things wrong with that.
Well, she ain't getting my room. End of discussion.
Growing up now, shit hurts more. For real. Banged my elbow the other day. Proper pain.
So
maybe?
you just have to
Kyle,
build
yeah.
another bedroom and
He's
maybe
a
a bathroom
teenager.
and
I
convince
suppose we do
everyone
have a
that adding
teenager on
another
here now,
teammate
actually.
is a good
Maybe
thing.
it is good to get Spider-Man on. Two little teenagers.
12-year-old teammate.
Have a yell at each other instead of us.
One who may or may not need you to provide parental stuff. I mean, come on, man. You did just save the galaxy. Nice. So, obviously, embracing this new role is definitely probably going to be just, You can't look after a kid. You are a kid.
Let's be
You should
real.
arguably have somebody looking after you. Oh, crap. I mean, Nikki's great and all, but she's still gonna need guidance and emotional support and... Oh, vegetables.
Fuck do you get vegetables from in space?
fuck are you
There's a
gonna get
bakery planet, maybe there's a vegetable planet.
I guess
Groot, yeah, that's a good
Groot
shout.
could make vegetables. Yes. Yes, that seems like a reasonable thing to ask him. And if everyone's willing to make just a few reasonable sacrifices here and there, I mean, you know what they're like. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely,
Just having a good conversation here.
Wow, they have good qualities.
Yeah?
I mean, Drax
Yeah.
is fearless, and he's been a dad. Groot, he's compassionate and protective. Rocket can teach her about crawling into things, and Gamora.
I'm fixing shit.
Gamora. She knows about honor and discipline and girl stuff. Yeah. So even if you don't have what it takes by yourself,
Everyone can
you're not
raise a
by
child.
yourself.
You're basically a new hippie cult for her.
And you know what? Nikki's a part of that now. She's one of the family. And family means sticking together no matter what.
Unless
Even
they
if
annoy
you
you,
gotta wing
you
it
know.
every step of the way.
You're in space. If she gets really annoying, you can just shoot her on out, you know what I mean?
What's happening?
Oh, another achievement I
appear
don't
to
know
have
about.
lost power.
Sounds like a Nova Corps disabler. You guys paid your fine, right?
Oh, fuck!
We didn't. No. We didn't have enough money. Oh shit. That is the end of the game, I believe. Let's hold there. There was no music in the end. I'm guessing again this is meant to be copyrighted music, so. But these people made the game. They were the lead level designers. They were the level designers. They were additional level design. They were the technical level design directors. They were the technical designers. Then Bruno Gaffier Leblanc is the art director. And there's some more additional ones. Oh, hey, music. We did it. We did it. Hardest game in the world, this one. Yeah. Pretty good. So I'm pretty sure there's no extra stuff now. I don't know if this is like Marvel movies where they're just going to keep pumping us with like after credits. I know it is, yeah, I saw you'd pop one up, I just can't see what it says at the moment, Razzie, so I'll have a look at it after stream for you, dude. They probably will be, Kyle. Yeah, fair. Just wait till I'm like on a bus or some shit. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this was a Marvel-made game. I think this is going to have a lot of credits. That's barely holding it faster as well. But that is the game done. So when we do next stream, we will have him. No worries, dude. If I remember after I've had my post-stream smoke, I'll reply then, if not in the morning. Marvel Games, Executive Vice President. Who's the actual president? Why don't they want us to know? See, President of Marvel Entertainment's chill with us knowing. They even got a co-president. And yeah, sounds good, Kyle, dude. Yeah, if you're... Are you free still on Tuesday? If we do like the same, but just a week later, I guess? I'll be around next Monday as well. Yeah, in fact, I want to say the evening next week I'm free most evenings. But yeah, we can. I'll probably still do my normal stream Monday, so we can either do it like 9 o'clock Monday, or we can do it 9 o'clock Tuesday. Either way. But yeah, let me know. Yeah, it should be fine any day anyway. Oh yeah. Oh, the cast. Let's see if we recognise them. They were some really good voice actors for this, actually. Alex Wiener did Rocket. Never heard of him, but did well. I don't recognise any of those names. The voice acting was really good in this. The characters were very likely nice. Ah, no worries, Kyle. I mean, we were meant to be doing it like earlier this month, like the first of this month, basically. It's me, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if Frank Ocean releases 2 new albums by the time we get to the show, but we're gonna get to it. See, they're showing the music, but there's no way they finished with the credits already. So then here's all the songs that we didn't listen to because of streaming mode being on. Yeah, good times. Okay, so yeah, lots of music they used. Some good ones. Before you end up not minding. Well, I tried it once, I think, just to see if the llama would dance, but then I turned it off. Because like when I'm playing like games like this, wait, hold up. "Call Me" by Blondie was written by Debbie Harry and Giorgio Moroder. I didn't know that. That's nuts. Giorgio Moroder helped write "Call Me." I thought it was all into Simpson shit. But Yeah, no, basically when I'm playing like a run through of like these sort of games, I try and do it without the well, you know, not using DMC not using copyright music, let's just say. Like, because then I can potentially pop it onto YouTube, although I may have left it too late to save the videos of this now anyway, so yeah. But like other games that I'm not going to put on there, I'll do it. Usually with these sort of games, they don't have as many copyrighted songs in anyway, so you just get to experience the nice like music they put in the background. But yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not sure if I've actually done it in time to get all the VODs saved. I can't remember if I started saving them or not. If I did, we might get lucky. If not, I might get unlucky. Oh god, there's gonna be lots of people. Sew marketing, huh? There was some good sewing in their costumes. So was that the one song? The anniversary show was only like a week or two ago, so it should be. Oh, I might not have published. Basically, I have to like self-publish every VOD now. It doesn't just put them up automatically because it's always like, oh, there might be copyrighted music, so I have to manually press publish it. Fuck, I didn't realize I hadn't done that yet though. But yeah, that one was only like a week or so ago, so that one I can still definitely I will be published and saved. But I might try and do that in the morning too. Stay on until you play copyright music in stream, then it will turn off. Oh, well, because I play copyright music in all my streams, I always have to manually publish them. Yeah, so even like these, like I started with copyright music, and then in the break, I played copyright music too. I see a lot of creative. I see the C's creative. And I see the community has service. I feel supported as a... No, I don't feel supported as a customer. I said about loads of glitches and they didn't fix them whilst I was playing them. Community of the Sea. Thank to Poseidon. Pole to Win sounds more like a racing company. I can see finance. And then there's the Sea's finance. Why does the Sea need money? Or marketing. Everyone knows about the fucking Sea. Yeah, Carl, you're CEO of Pumpkin Industries, if I remember right. They popped up earlier. What's all this sea about? Enough Sedge. Just having a laugh here. Also, that was literally the only song. It's a lot harder to watch credits with no music. These guys just own I own a digital channel. Twitch.com/FizzleMcCoy. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah, good stuff. Lead collaboration tool specialist was Old Desecree. They did it great. Actually, I can't fault them. Is the time of the pumpkin? Bloop bloop bloop. Thanks, Bax. Yeah, nice one. And that clip's probably quite old now, but yeah, in fact, it is quite old now. We haven't had a proper new clip for a while, but that one is a doozy. Huh. Getting closer to skipping this. Yeah, right. That car guy's great. Hey. That AFK one was hilarious though. That was great. French cast. Okay. Some people quite like that, Kyle. Yeah. Hence why Reslie's in business. How can I have not put... They like made their own music for this, so I don't understand why we're not getting any music here. Was there someone called Lipless in this game? Who the oh, the enemies. And that was all the Spanish localization. I wonder if we get to see who did the Spanish cast. That'd be crazy. Oh my god, we do? Wow. Carlos Batista played a young Peter Quill, whereas John Batista? It's John Batista, isn't it? Who plays Drax in the movies. His name is John, right? No. John Baptiste. I can't remember his proper name now. Probably no one does. John Batista? Joan Baez. Dave Batista. Yeah, that was it. Thanks, Ensmo. Nice to see you, dude. Dave Batista. Yeah, that was it. So maybe that was his Spanish friend. Brazilian Portuguese localization. Okay, cool, cool. And I see Marco Antonio Abreu is in there again. Yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one. How you doing today, Ensmo, dude? Oh, now they're getting lazy. Polish, Russian, Arabic localization. I mean, they're getting further and further away from each other here now. Just bash them all into one group. Saw that young Peter Quill's played by somebody called Igor. I see that's still a strong name for people. I've never met a real Igor. I would like to. Right, okay. Did the Fizzilian location. Yeah. Someone's called Beat the Back. Oh, really? Nice. I didn't show the Arabic cast, just localization. Wow. This is very quiet. Not at all. Not too quiet. It's quite peaceful. Rock GmbH. Testronic. Oh, that's not even a country or language. Pfft, trying to fool us. Also, this has thrown me because they put all the music credits so high up on the thing. I have no idea where we are now. At least usually once you get here, if you see a music credit, you're like, sweet, we're at the end. No idea. A lot of people made this game though. GG. This feels all over the shop. Now we're bringing back in the different voice casts. They need to sort out their credit lineup. Diabolical. So this mango vape juice you gave me reminds me of this book I was listening to once when I had this certain mango juice. Nice! I fucking love it when you get those sort of weird memories. There's certain times like, if I listen to, I don't really listen to it much like anymore, but DJ Fresh's Escape from Planet Monday, I remember eating that a lot when I'd have worked in, I won't say the town, I worked in a town, used to go to this riverside bit where you could sit down and stuff. I used to have a smoke and a ham and salad cream sandwich for my lunch whilst listening to that and reading my book. So, but when every now and then I hear one of those songs come on shuffle or something, and instantly I'm like, oh shit, I can remember that feeling somehow. It's weird when that happens, though, right? When a taste or a smell or even a sound can put you right back into it. I was reading Trainspotting at that point as well. So that often the whole feel of when I read that comes back in at times. Smoked ham? Maybe. More just the ham in packets. Might have been smoked. Cheap. Hey, we're at the end. There's a Tron poster used. Nice. Chewbacca, Stanley, Pac-Man, Death Trap Dungeon, Gibson, Mega Scans. Pfft. Lazy bastards. Make it from scratch or nothing. Wiley for Dummies, the Dummies Man logo, the Dummies Way, Dummies.com, making everything easy and related trade dresses are trademarks of John. What? That was very confusing. Look at those copyrights. Copyright and a copyright. We've seen your copyrights. Get on with it. Hey, that one needs to say GitHub. The Hachimaru Pop Project authors. Oh yeah, what book? Yeah, what book? They scanned the spaceships and rocket because it was easier to produce IRL than with CGI. Fair enough. Oh wait, so Furlong was going to. Oh wait, hang on. So finally feeling unity with the Guardian, Star-Lord has become obsessed with refocused branding. He's already ordered new business cards with heroes in a larger, bolder typeface and nominated his team for multiple galactic commendations. He's even. I'm getting a little bit of Guitar Hero warp stuff. He's even considering changing his hairstyle. Star-Lord also received the key to nowhere from Cosmo for having helped him reject a promise. He's currently propped up against the fridge to keep the door shut. Hey, the door shut, nice. Star-Lord also negotiated with Nova Corps to unlock the Milano and waived their fine since they saved the entire Flarkin galaxy. However, they still owe significant late fee. Motherfuckers. You just finished Sirens of Titan and reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I read the first one. I think I have the second one. But I never got further than reading that, sadly. So Gamora, with the team finally getting along, Gamora invited everyone to rigorous combat training so they could learn to fight as one. Star-Lord claims after only 6 sessions that they now fight like ninjas. Gamora has no idea what that means. She don't know ninjas. Rocket surprised the Guardians by installing a gamma-heated Mercurian hot tub in the Milano's cargo bay. He has since declared it its office and hosts daily team meetings in it. He provides drinks, but not towels. Alright. Rick has also renegotiated his employment contract. He is never to be called cute, adorable, or any similar words in front of a client. That's fair. Mercurian. Yeah. But I think it's about Mercury. Yeah. To further capture the story of Unity and Honor, Drax offered to inscribe Kafafian tattoos on the entire team. Groot's immediately healed, but he says he still feels it on the inside. The rest of the team had sore butt cheeks for several rotations. Inspired to better communicate with the rest of his team, Groot asked Rocket to help him teach everyone Groot. He then abandoned the effort when they kept repeating the same 3 words over and over again. Star-Lord's now trying to teach Groot a few sign language words he learned from films. Groot also finally convinced Star-Lord to try his Groot tea. The next morning, a plant sprouted from Star-Lord's forehead. Thank you, Kyle. That helps, yeah. After attending Carell's full honor memorial, which drew tens of thousands, Nikki proudly displayed her blazing hair to the Kree accusers and told them exactly where they could stick their hammers. Up their arseholes. She has since found a home with the Guardians and often calls Star-Lord Dad just to throw him off his game. That's mean. Hey, Cammy! Cammy began to heavily shed her wool, which has surprisingly comfortable texture. The Guardians sold material on the black market for a huge amount of units. Drax has since begun knitting Cammy wool mittens for the entire team. Well, that's nice. Fairly certain she had maybe fulfilled one of her many important feats as Celestial Madonna, Mantis set out to tie up loose ends, but got distracted by all the knots. She was last seen giving advice to an irritated Monster Queen. Adam Warlock received most of the credit for stopping the Universal Church of Truth. Once he was done basking in the galactic praise, he once again took up the role of healer and travelled the galaxy, helping those formerly lost to the promise return to reality. Although we killed a whole lot of people lost to the promise. Cosmo remains the best boy. Yeah, he does. Oh shit. It's just like, alright. So, I mean, this is cool. Can't really bother to read it. You've been keeping a little diary the whole time. Did I know about this? Did I just not read it? That's cool. He's really got an eye for art, you know. Maybe words too, but I'm not really giving those a chance. Seems like he's got a lot of stickers too. Where's he getting these stickers from? Hey, he put the little S's. You can. Where's my finger? That way. Right on the other page. The little cool S's we all did when we were at school. If you didn't, you weren't cool, I'm afraid. Yeah, I can read pictures. A few more of the S's. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, nice. That's a nice little way to end the game. Again, can't be bothered to read it, but if I could, that would be great. Yeah, go on then. And that is it. Unless there's anything extra before we hit the main menu, but that probably is just taking us to the main menu at this point. And it also means I can free up some hard drive space. Oh yeah.